Hey everyone, welcome to the Nintendo Prime Podcast, Season 2, Episode 52. That's right, exactly 1 year ago today we began this journey in Season 2. And the show looks quite a bit different now that I'm glancing at it. For starters, the original core 6 are basically all gone, but me and Eric at the moment. We'll talk about that because we also have to welcome in a special person who you don't see on screen yet. Mr. Jake Randall.
Jake.
Why
made
are you guys all late today? I've been.
Yeah.
What's
up, Jake? Surprise!
Surprise, buddy!
What
Surprise
the heck is going? I had no idea. Let's go.
I know.
You gotta bring Jake's friends in the mix, you know.
All right.
Jake's like, I don't know what's going on. I've been out of the loop.
Yeah. No, I've just been waiting for you guys to get here.
Yeah, I'm sure. That's what it's
And
been.
you didn't even let me in when it started. It's rude.
Yep. So rude. Anyways, how you doing, Jake?
It's I've had a day. It's not the best, but it's not the worst.
Well, we have days like that. That's what kind of happened to my day, dude. Because notice how I said I was telling everyone that hey, a year ago is when season 2 began, and we had a 6-pack going on, and everyone from that 6-pack is not here. One of them, Mike Odyssey's been replaced with Jake. He's now the regular instead of Mike. And then Andres Restart was
Mike.
literally Andres Restart was going to be part of the show, and he's been one of our co-hosts all year long. But he got sick today, and then he's like literally a half hour before the show. Yeah, dude, I'm just migraine. I'm just I told him to go sleep. So I'm panicking. Okay. I'm literally sitting here. I'm DMing every person I've ever seen on my X feed ever because I don't have any other way to DM people.
I love you too, but this was such a surprise that Jeff was here.
Yeah. Well, dude, he just said yes right away. I didn't even have to wait once I texted him. And then for Vlam over there, he's like, yeah, I might be late, but sure, I'll come. And then he's right on time. So
yeah.
Jeff, look what just got to my doorstep right before.
Here we go.
It's the Tatum ones.
Damn.
Yeah, also, wait,
well,
no
you can't
free
tell.
Feet. Nice try.
You can't tell. We're gonna have quite a lot of bromancing, I think, going on.
Get him excited.
It's the Tater.
Did they say deuce on the tongue?
Oh, that's awesome. That's
JT.
Awesome.
Is it because he drops deuces while he's
JT? Hold on, JT.
Okay, we're good.
Dude, you need them. Ones? You need.
I know,
them,
right?
Here we go. See what I've started, guys. See what I said. Maybe I was hoping Jake wasn't going to show up enough time.
Well, I was saying before Jake got here, before the pre-show, I was just like, last time I saw Jake was at a Sox game. So
yeah, dude, we went to a Red Sox game this summer.
Oh man!
Awesome.
All right. Before we start having, I see someone in the chat who likes to compliment Jake's looks every single week. So before that starts coming up, let's go around the room. Welcome everyone, and let them know who you are, because some of you guys have never been here before, haven't been here in a while. And then what have you been playing lately? So we'll just start right next to me with Favlam. Let people know who you are and what have you been playing lately?
Well, hello everybody. My name is Favlam. I'm a Nintendo variety streamer and also game show host type vibes over on twitch.tv/Favlam. I'm the Twitch streamer here. I'm not a YouTuber. Trying to become a YouTuber. We're getting there. I promise. We're slowly building that repertoire. But Twitch streamer, and we've been playing a lot of Wii Sports. I've been revisiting Wii Sports Resort. We've kind of been perfecting every game in each of those categories. We do tennis, we do bowling, we did the basketball. 33-point, hitting the perfect 30 on the 3-point contest is miserable. Oh my gosh, it's so bad. Modern Nintendo games, I just dipped my toes back into Pikmin 4. I played one level and then I'm trying to beat it finally.
Yes, I like
and then we might
talking about toes.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a good stream.
Dip a little, So yeah, that's what I've been up to. I'm probably gonna sadly get the Pokemon DLC and do that at some point as well. So that's what I've been up to. That's what I've been doing.
Did you do the first Pokemon DLC?
No, and I've been told and also realized now that I have to do the first part in order to do the second part, and it makes
you have to?
Yes, you do, because it's a story thing.
Oh
yeah.
Oh,
So you have to
yeah,
not
you're
only
right,
do you
you're
have
right.
to not only do you have to do the story, but then it's like a required purchase as well if you want the second part.
Yeah, they just sell
Unfortunately.
it as one. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
haven't
the
done the new
second
one,
part.
but I did the first one the day it came out.
Oh, nice. The second part looks fun. I won't lie. It looks very. I actually looks like a good time. You can like.
Dude, the first part
there's
was a good time.
Really? You like okay. It looked boring to me when I was like watching my friends play it on Twitch. But the second part, you can like do this little thing called the synchro machine, and you
Yeah.
can literally just be Pokemon and run around the world as the
Dude,
Pokemon.
I
And
saw that.
that's
That
like such a good idea.
terrifies me because if you encounter a shiny, you can't catch it when you're doing that.
Yeah, that is a very unfortunate feature. However,
Makes me
I can run
nervous.
around as my little Turtwig guy, and I think because I don't give a fuck about shinies, so
Fair.
I yeah, so like I'm like, hey, you know, I'm happy with my little run around with my little Turtwig dude. He's hanging out. Anyways, but that's me. That's who I am. I'm from Vlam. How's it going? Nice to meet everybody.
Yeah.
You can call me Austin as well if you can't say.
In
Vlam.
case you guys don't know, me and Favlam always end up nerding out about Pokemon when he's on. I do
Yeah,
with
we
anyone
do.
that likes Pokemon when they come on.
And with
Yeah,
Andres
I-
not here, this isn't turning into an entire topic because that's what happens every time. It's like
Mhm.
45 minutes of Pokemon.
That's all right.
Hey,
That's all right.
this is fun. We
It's
can
okay, I
shout
gotta-
out
I-
Favlam did an awesome charity event.
Yo, she did.
last
You don't,
month.
you don't
Wait,
have
wait,
to.
wait,
Smash
hold on.
Bros.
Wait, is he about to get
Charity, hold on.
exposed? Wait a
Has
second. Wait a
related
second.
content, not
Okay, hang on. No, I'm not about to pull Gerard. Okay, don't.
no, Just saying, it's apparently a
dude,
theme.
your
I
event
used
was the only event I
Tiltify. I
promoted
used
this year.
Tiltify, which it didn't even see an account. I didn't even see it in an account. I just went straight to.
No. I vouch for you, dude.
Oh, wait. Tiltify. I think that's related to Gerard. Hold on. Wait a second.
Is it? No, it's not.
No,
his
it's
own
not.
thing. No, the bad ones are it's Gerard's like thing that he set up, and then the other bad one that recently came out was safe something. Then they rebranded to something else. Anyways, yeah, there was a whole article about it. They scammed a whole bunch of people like Ludwig and Hassan and other big streamers. Anyways, off topic, but thank you for acknowledging
No,
that.
dude, I just wanted to give you a
appreciate
shout out for that was. Dude, that was an incredible event. You got like
Thank you.
30 content creators to come together, do this Mario Kart tournament. I don't know how you managed it all, coordinated everything, but I just want to give you props, man.
I appreciate that. Yeah, no, we raised at the end of the day, we had a few more people donate like after stream, $1,800 for Feeding America. And it was pretty sick.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
So
Damn.
yeah,
Hell
and
yeah.
we went for a good while. It was a good time. So yeah, hope to do. My goal for 2024 is to do. I usually do 2 charity events every year. I want to try and do one like every fiscal quarter / like season. So we'll see.
Nice. YouTube's a great place for that right now.
Yeah,
Good that you're coming
I
here.
can tell. Yeah, honestly, it's made me kind of scared to do that after all the scams and stuff.
No,
that
you
have
don't,
been
dude.
coming out.
Honestly, Austin, in all seriousness, the way I've always done it on YouTube, which I've done it like I haven't done it. It's been 2 years now since I've done it, but every Christmas I would do it. And if you're going through a 501c charity, YouTube has them all. And they will link your stream to the charity. So any super chat gets directed right to the charity. YouTube doesn't get a cut.
Cool.
You don't get a cut. You don't even know how much, except for like the counter on the top.
Well,
like you don't see it anywhere. The
Yeah,
only thing is YouTube holds it until like the next processing month and then gives it to the charity. But it's 1 month max, right? And like they never actually touch it. They're
And
just
you don't have to do anything. That's what's nice about it.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
Well,
how everyone
see,
should do it. No one should try to start their own thing because chances are there's somewhere that does it better already in existence. You don't need to stroke your ego. And if you have like a legit one, that's great for you. You're an exception. I don't mean to call anyone out, but for most things, unless this disease was just
Are you sure there's a 2024 golf event coming up? I'm thinking about attending.
Oh God, we're gonna
We're
gonna
sorry.
get into this.
Sorry.
Yeah,
we should transition.
I do like golf. I do
to
like
Smash
golf.
JT's introduction.
Eric is so out of it right now.
Let's not dwell on that.
Look, Eric, all you gotta do is go to Smash JT's channel and watch like his last 10 videos. You'll know everything you need to know.
Like 22 videos.
Yeah, 22 videos.
Oh wait, Smash, are you drama? Are you drama alert? Oh my gosh.
No, God, no drama.
I'm
Me,
kidding,
no.
I'm kidding.
Oh God.
So, Eric,
Yeah.
what have you been playing lately?
Tears of the Kingdom.
Hell yeah.
I just got the last Sage, and I technically
Monero
unlocked the defeat Ganon quest. So, but yeah, that's not going to happen for a while. I'm going to go around and find all the
So basically,
shrines and,
talk to him end of next year.
yeah,
he
pretty
might
much.
finally, at like 52 episodes from now, he might finally be going to
get the
defeat him.
shrines, get the other side quests, all the
He's 100% in this game. If you can't
No,
tell.
God,
Besides the Korok seeds.
Yeah, besides the Korok seeds, and actually filling out the full compendium.
Oh,
Fudge that.
you could buy a lot of them.
No, I know. You
can just
don't
straight
have
up
to.
buy 'em.
I already completed that task, and I only bought 5 pictures, and it was like, oh, you're done. Okay.
Yeah.
Like what? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. So
Hell yeah, man.
yeah, that's where I'm at.
All right, Smash JT, want to tell these people who you are and what you've been playing lately?
Man, that's a loaded question. I'll start with what I'm playing.
Trying to advertise your channel. You're the best one to advertise it. What are you doing?
Is your name because you want to have sex with Jason Tatum? Because same.
Yes, and it's really awkward to finally admit that, but I'm just gonna do it.
It's not because those are your initials and there was a game, right? It's because of the first thing.
It is.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Just making sure.
No. Okay. So I don't really advertise my channel. I just kind of let my videos do the talking for me. But I dabble in a little bit of everything. Sometimes some can call it drama. I call it entertaining infotainment. And I'll talk about Nintendo news, PlayStation news, Xbox news if it interests me. It's really just like when I'm inspired to talk about something, I'll do it. And I also run a website, smashjt.com, where I write articles for everything that interests me as well. So that keeps me.
Oh man, that's
busy.
what the website is. I was hoping for something else.
Sorry. Yeah, there is a segment down at the bottom. No, I'm just kidding. So games I've been playing. Here's an issue that I'm having right now. Tears of the Kingdom, I got like 70% through it, and I just couldn't bring myself to finish it because I like it so much that I'm like, I don't want it to end, so I just keep doing other stuff or playing other games. So in the meantime, right now, Mario Wonder, I got the PlayStation Portal, so I'm going back to God of War Ragnarok, which I never beat when I first got it. I'm still hooked on
DLC now too.
I know.
Yeah.
I still haven't gotten to that yet.
Your free DLC. That was crazy. Anyways.
Yeah. And still hooked on Slay the Spire, which I warn everyone never to play that game because it will consume your life. And that's about it.
That's fair. That's fair.
Has anyone played Slay the Spire here?
No. I've never even heard of it.
Dude,
I've heard of it.
In my head rent free ever since you made a video about it.
I made a video about it like a year ago.
I bought it. That's like one of my like top tier on my backlog. You know what? I'm gonna start it tonight.
It's really, really good.
It
like I got my brother
exactly
playing
my game too.
My brother that you met at the Red Sox game, I got him playing it, and he's like so hooked on it. Like,
I remember we were talking about it at the Red Sox game. Actually,
really?
Yeah.
So did everybody here go to this Red Sox game except for me? Like,
no, I have no desire to go to a Red Sox game. I'm good.
This is like the third time that somebody's mentioned a Red Sox game and somebody else has been on. I was like, wow, I must have missed out on something. Like,
no, we just had a good day / night.
It was an awesome day. Had dinner, had everything. It was awesome. It was a great day.
All the kids were there too. We had a big group.
Yeah, my son couldn't stop talking to Jake about Tears of the Kingdom, which was awesome.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, another Austin.
Yeah, another Austin. He was named after you, Favlam.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Oh boy,
I love to see it.
Jeez.
But
so Jake,
yeah, and what you were saying earlier, Jeff, though, about your channel is like, dude, you do the same thing I do. Is when you're passionate about something, you make content on it. And I do the same thing. That's why, like, I don't cover restocks for every new product. Just the products that I'm passionate about, because you just can't unless you have like an energy for it. And that's why Nate covers Nintendo stuff, you know?
Yeah.
That's the only way to make it work. But I've
You
seen
could do a 3-hour podcast on that topic alone. But yeah,
Not
yeah,
not to
exactly.
intervene, but on that topic of being passionate, I have been down such a rabbit hole of like Nintendo menu music specifically. I love Nintendo music to begin with, but Nintendo menu music is just so fascinating.
Dude, you
because
should
it's
make a
like,
1-hour video on that. Like those are so.
no, what I've been
popular right
doing
now.
is I've been making a bajillion shorts about it.
Dude, that means that
That's
you
what
should
I've been
be
doing.
comparing yourself. Now you're like,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what I've been
You
doing.
should do it.
Anyway,
You
sorry.
should do it.
Continue, Jake. Jake, tell the class who you are, what you've been playing.
There we go.
My name is Jake Randall, aka the 2-inch Destroyer,
Oh my god.
and I think let me just double check because I did boot up my PS5 the other day. Oh, I started the God of War DLC, but I didn't really play that much, and that's all I've played. And that makes 3 weeks in a row. But it's because my friend owns a bakery that slammed during like Christmas and Thanksgiving. So
You're
I
just
was
slamming the
basically-
donuts. All right.
Yeah, I was just there
Is that
like
why they have a
all
hole
week
in 'em?
doing nothing else.
Yeah, he's got to make sure the holes are the perfect size every time.
Hey, Saffron City TV in the chat. Great channel. Also going to be a guest on this channel. January 10th. Yeah, the
I
10th.
was asking you when it was today because I forgot to write
Yeah,
it down.
I just didn't reply to you because I remember it was the second Wednesday. That's the 10th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Maybe it's the
I
third. I think
appreciate
it's
the
the 10th.
love. Yeah, Saffron City TV is going to be on our show January 10th. So 2 weeks.
If you like Pokemon
that.
content, please check out her channel. I was a fan of her channel, and I was like, you know what? Why don't you come on the podcast? And she's down. So
What is their
Hey,
name? Saffron. what?
Andres is in
Saffron
the
City TV.
in the chat. Hey, Andres, if the Advils
see
and
him.
cough drops are kicking it enough to come on, you're more than welcome. I can send you the link.
Are they a
but-
streamer?
That being said,
I don't think they stream. They make more like content. The content that I watched specifically was they did like Kanto and they also did Johto. Just like a kind of like
I feel like
like,
I've seen this
a
person. on
big
Twitter.
review, but
Very
also
cool.
like what they've made videos and like what changes they would make. And honestly, it was I had a whole
Hell yeah.
month where I was just consuming that content, like so many of those, all of them I could find because I was replaying Heart Gold.
Yeah.
And then that Crystal Legacy ROM hack came out. So I was just all in. So I just
I see.
binge watched a ton of videos, and hers was one of the channels I came across. Retrospective, that's the word. And her Johto
Retrospective.
one is part 1 and part 2. It's awesome.
you know
Gotcha.
who's
That's
also
cool.
awesome? Apparently, your smile. $2 super chat in from
Hey.
Fox and Ivy.
I
Jake's
love
smile
you,
again,
Fox.
lights
Thank
up
you
the
so
room.
much.
Fox is the alt account. I'm telling you guys.
Yeah, Jake's just
not.
over there.
He's just got one to
Dang,
himself.
dang.
Oh, all right.
He's like, look, I'm showing
Jake,
some
yeah,
support
right.
to Nintendo
You're-
Prime. Here's a couple
I
bucks.
know.
Also, Jake lights up the room, baby.
Hey, thank you, Jake.
Yo, Jake. Thanks for the 5 in the chat, Jake. No problem, Jake.
Cool.
Yes,
Oh, my
region-based content. Thank you, Saffron City TV.
So, what have I been playing lately? Well, the holidays is a crazy time, so super busy with the fam over the last week. But because of the chat on Monday, I got to get tortured for 2 hours yesterday playing Henry the Hamster something game. The worst game in
Henry the
existence.
Hamster.
But if you want to play it, it's 60 cents on the eShop. It's
Dude,
if you play one level,
I learned
you
to
played
not
every
scream
level.
for a minute. I was watching you, but I didn't say anything.
There's 300 levels. Yeah,
Weird.
again, if you played one, you've played them all.
Oh,
It's
boy.
very boring. And it was
It
bad.
looked terrible.
It was not fun.
Oh, I gotta
Dude,
ask.
I got bored just watching it.
why?
Not
would
from you, from the game.
Why would you spend time playing a crappy game when there are so many great games in the backlog?
Well, see, you have to understand something. We do these live streams, and sometimes these goals come up, and the chat kind of just made the goal. Hey, if we hit this, this X amount of money and super chats, you should have to play this horrendous game on your next stream. So of course it happened. So of course I had to, and I couldn't just wuss out and like only play it for a few minutes. So no, I'm like, nope. Unless we hit the same amount of money from the prior night, this is the whole stream. Everyone enjoy me bitching about this stupid hamster game for the next 3 hours. Thankfully, mercy happened about 2 hours in, and we finally got there. But I'm like, man, I think, I don't know, that people were enjoying the torture. There were people legitimately upset that I stopped playing the game because they're like, no, Nate needs more torture.
More torture.
more
torture.
hamster.
Andre says
We need
something
more
like,
hamster.
Yeah,
We
I know what
need
he said.
now.
I know what he said. Oh. All right.
Yowzers.
Anyways, while I do that and get Anderson, I guess I can go over what I've been playing lately. Besides that, I also did, and you know what? I guess Favlam just said I'm out.
no, jeez. All right.
He was
then.
Oh,
really
Andres is
offended
coming,
by
I'm
the
out.
Henry
There's
the hamster.
some beef between Favlam and
Yeah, right.
some. See,
Sorry,
right when you found out that Andres was coming, I'm like, oh, there's beef, unknown beef. I wasn't aware of.
I went to pull up the like notes for this episode and I accidentally hit the X. I was like trying to move it all around. Anyways,
Okay.
sorry,
Yeah,
my
Likely
Yeah.
story. So besides that, I did play some Mario Wonder with my kids. I've already beaten the game, so it's just they got Mario Wonder for Christmas, so I played that. And then I did play a smidge of Breath of the Wild actually, because I was just seeing how it felt after Tears of the Kingdom, and it felt about the way I thought it would feel. I'd rather play Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah,
So
that makes sense.
the
I mean,
abilities
can
are better in some ways, but otherwise,
Can you ever go back to Breath of the Wild and really enjoy it after Tears of the Kingdom is a real question.
I think you can. I just don't care.
Oh my god! If Andres, Andres is in the chat, right?
Yeah, he's in
He
the
would
chat.
he would argue that you absolutely can.
Of course he would. So he'll be here in a moment. We got a couple super chats we could throw up here. I'll wait for Andres to pop in because he can tell us what he's been playing lately. Taker610 said, I saw 127 hour Tears of the Kingdom 100% walkthrough on YouTube.
Yikes.
Damn.
I'm not surprised. I mean, there's probably people who've 100%ed it faster than that.
Well, wait, Taker, was it in parts? You can't upload a 127-hour long video, can you?
Yeah.
Not a clue.
You can stream for that long and they just don't keep
No,
that.
you can stream as long as you want. They only keep 12 hours.
Yeah.
Upload
I
wise,
did an 18-hour live stream once,
Yeah.
and the whole thing got nuked because
Oh, yeah, my
they don't
streams are
get
getting
nuked
nuked.
the
so
first
frustrating.
12 hours. If you go over 12 hours, the whole
Yeah,
thing
that's all gone.
is
Oh,
wiped.
Yikes.
really? Dude,
Yeah.
we've done longer than 12-hour streams.
Mhm.
They just wiped out everything after 12
12
hours.
Not mine, dude. I don't know.
Maybe you weren't keeping it clean enough.
It was actually pretty wholesome.
Maybe
And
that
that's
was
why
the
I really
problem.
sad that it was gone.
That was the problem. It was too wholesome. See, they kept my stream where a violent act apparently happened that they deleted. It was before the 12-hour mark. I was ranting about E3 and I took a water bottle and I chucked it and it bounced up and hit the camera. Somehow that moment is deleted from YouTube history, even though it was well within the first 12 hours.
Mhm.
Whoa, he said it was a 127-hour video.
I'm looking it
Um,
up right now.
Wait,
I've never tried
tell
to
my
upload him in
story
that
real
long.
quick?
Honestly,
I'm
impressive.
salty about it.
I said, I know there's 10-hour videos, but I didn't know about that. 127
Um,
hours, damn.
What's it called? Can I tell my stream story real quick because I'm mad about it still?
Yeah.
'Cause it was literally, I think it was 2.5 years ago. It was when the Halo Edition Xbox Series X came out. I did an 18-hour live stream on launch day, and I ended up buying one successfully. And you know how my streams go. Like there was like a couple thousand people in there. Everyone's spamming W's, like got it, getting a ton of super chats, whatever. And I just see one super chat, like for like $5, and it was like, Jake, I've been here for about 12 hours, didn't get one. Was trying to get one for my son. He's in the hospital right now and he has cancer. But just so you know, it was worth the time I spent, and I love getting to know you. And so I was like, what? And so I went, like, I looked at their username and like tried to find them on Facebook to see if they were a real person. And I did, and I was like, I don't need the one that I just got. And so like I tracked her down on Facebook, and then this is all happening on the live stream. And I'm like, will you please just take the one that I got for your son? And she refused to do it because she's like, well, just let me pay you for it. And I'm like, you don't have to do that. And then the chat started donating money to me to pay for it for her. So they donated $500, and I'm like, listen, it's paid for already. And she's like, I refuse to accept it unless you let me pay for it. I'm a nurse. Like, I can pay for it. I just want to buy one. And I was like, all right. So I sold her mine, sent her mine, and then took all the donations from the chat and donated it to the American Cancer Society. And then I tweeted about it, and then all these big Twitter accounts started donating like thousands of dollars to the American Cancer Society. And it was like one of the best moments of like my streaming career, and it all got deleted. But I mean, obviously it was still a good thing. And I'm friends with that woman and her son to this day. And her son's name is Jacob, actually. And
that's so sick.
And he's really, really healthy today. He's had to have a lot of like surgeries and stuff, but he's in good shape right now. So that's my thing that you can never ever see because YouTube says 12 hours is it.
That is savage.
Yeah.
I literally have had several live streams go past 12 hours and they've never been deleted.
Yeah. What was crazy too is the live stream was on trending. It was number 30 on trending. And when you clicked on it, it just took you to and said, sorry, you can't watch this.
Yeah, buddy. Way to hit that trending page hardcore, buddy.
Yep.
How many times have you been trending, Jake?
How many times?
Yeah.
You don't brag or anything.
Probably.
Tell you how many times I've been trending.
Probably 30 to 50.
Wow. I was thinking like 4 or 5.
Oh, no. I used to be trending like all the time.
Oh, that's right. All the.
It's like people know me. I'm kind of a big deal.
My highest was 3.
Oh, jeez.
I remember tweeting like, "Sorry, Cardi B. Like, maybe you can pass me next time." She was like,
so
4.
now that we're done with the Jake Randall brag fest, I'm just.
And I always say no bragging. I just want to impress Jeff. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
It doesn't take too much.
Welcome, Andres Restart, a surprise edition since I didn't think he was going to make it at all, based on
Andres.
Andres.
Welcome back.
Yo, I'm sorry that we hate each other, but you know, it's always.
I don't hate you. What do you mean? Yeah. No, don't say
we're
that.
starting a war.
I ruined his podcast like a month or two ago.
Did not ruin you. Trust me, you were the last thing that ruined the podcast.
I ruined one of them. Anyway, I'm glad we're good. It's good to see you. Smash JT, it's good to see you in video person.
It's been a long time coming to be on a stream with you.
Yeah, it's actually honestly it's been too long.
It has.
Yeah.
It's good to see
so do you think you're able to go back to Breath of the Wild after Tears of the Kingdom on?
Yeah, I was listening. Jake, you know.
I know you were.
You know me so well. I absolutely think you can revisit Breath of the Wild. I mean, it to me, it's like it's somewhat like playing Galaxy 1 versus Galaxy 2.
True. That's a great comparison.
I both game. Listen, I know you disagree, but I don't care. I'm just telling you how I feel, and that's fine. Your opinion's valid, as is mine.
I agree, Austin, that it's a great comparison. I told him that. He said
I think that's a fantastic comparison. They're both just
really
goated
good.
in their own right.
Yeah, it's not perfect. There are differences, but I mean, like Breath of the Wild has a little bit of its own feel. I feel like, or if you want to look at it as like maybe the beginning of the adventure, and Tears of the Kingdom's like the second wave, or like the season 2. If you want to look at it like that. I mean, there's a lot of shows where the season 2 is better than the season 1, but you still want to go back to season 1 if you're going to watch the whole show.
So it's like a $70 DLC, right?
Even though I adamantly disagreed with that point that people were making leading up to release, I do as well.
Smash. What did I tell you? Smash. What did I tell you? He just lays the bait.
It's just kind of like in a weird, ironic way. It's true, but in the best way possible. So. Because
Andres Restart is saying it's a $70 DLC. Got it. I want to see that video pop off the kickoff 2024. Calling Tears of the Kingdom $70 DLC.
Yeah, I'll also be called a hypocrite.
So here's the thing: you have to start out the way you usually start off. You're just gonna be like, hey, look, opinions change over time.
As evidence presents itself.
Yes, because of course, opinions can change. Otherwise, no one's mind could ever be changed when new things get entered into an equation.
Yeah.
So when I was a kid, I thought 1 + 1 equaled banana, but then I was was told differently.
It doesn't.
Just to clarify, though, for those that may be a little confused by what I'm trying to say, I am not agreeing with the point that people were making leading up to release that Tears of the Kingdom is just going to be a bit overpaid DLC, but just more so in the point that it just describing it as a DLC is a good way to say, hey, this is like a continuation of the world. It's really Tears of the Kingdom is just Nintendo exhausting everything they could with the world of Hyrule, which if you go back to their interviews, you'll see that what I just said matches up really well with what they say. They exhausted everything they could do in Hyrule. And so you're just kind of exploring it to the fullest in Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah,
So,
plus the sky and the depths.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's an expand. Like, when I say expanded, it not just like physically, but also like how, like with Ascend and all of that, and then
Yeah.
even like interacting with the characters and seeing them further ahead into the future. But yeah,
Speaking
of what I'm
of
playing.
physical expansions, how do you guys
Andre-
feel? Oh, go ahead. No, sorry,
I was just
JT,
gonna real
you
quick,
you go.
just building off Andres was saying about Tears of the Kingdom and how they poured their heart and soul into making it as full and big and great as possible, and they succeeded in most minds, including myself. Where do they go from here with that? And I know you've covered this, I've covered it. I know it's been leaked that they're most likely going to revisit Link to the Past or remake something previously. What do they do? What do they do now? Like, if they've explored and done everything in Tears of the Kingdom, where do they go from here?
Are we talking about
Honestly,
new
the
Zelda
two-
or like a revisiting an old Zelda?
I'm talking about Nintendo. Like, where do they go from here?
For like
honestly,
3D Zelda development?
just
They
Zelda
make a
in
new
general.
Zelda game.
Zelda in general. Like,
Yeah,
do they-
Nintendo.
Well,
where do
what's
they?
the
there's
next
gonna be
step? Is it a
remakes and
remake? Is it a? My
gonna be
opinion, a 2D game would be banger. That shit would
Sure.
go hard. 2D game would go
Remakes or
hard, like a
remasters
sequel.
are for sure thing. That's happening before the next big
I
Zelda
think,
game, so.
Jeff, correct me if I'm wrong. I think what you're asking is where do they go with the next mainline non-remake 3D game? That's what you're asking, right?
Well, no, I was just saying.
Oh,
in
you were.
general.
Okay.
In general.
But yeah, but I guess it's twofold. I want both answers. I want to know where they go next with whatever remake, and then from there, I also want to know, building on top of Tears of the Kingdom, where do they go next with that? So I guess you're right, Jake. It's
I'm asking Miyamoto right now, so give me a second.
Oh, good. Okay. Japanese.
Oh, Zelda movie. He doesn't even care
Oh,
about the game
true.
anymore.
You're not even wrong. That's actually like such a
Well,
valid
especially
answer.
for Miyamoto, that's what he's working on. He's not working
So
on
would
the
the
It's
game.
next
kind of
Zelda
insane
game
that
be a
they
sequel to the
announced
Zelda
that
movie?
via a tweet, and it was like the most like, "Hey, Nintendo." It was in the phrasing of like, "Hey, this does not feel like an official tweet. This feels like we got hacked and somebody saying, "Hey, Miyamoto here." Like
Yeah.
it's I can't.
Do you think that they would make the next big mainline Zelda game based off of whatever the Zelda movie is and make it that world?
No.
Yes and
Or,
no.
No.
or would the Zelda movie just
No.
be based off of Hyrule and
I mean,
think it
it's
would-
not going to be
yeah.
based off of it.
I
But
think they take the Mario movie route where it's just kind of like its own thing. I mean, like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
based off of a lot of other stuff, but it's not really like they're not really tied with each other.
I kind of agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
all right, kitty.
Oh, that's your cat's tail. Oh my god, I was.
Yeah, that's
thinking.
actually my tail.
Hey, you got
You
it.
think-
You got
I
it.
think that no matter what Nintendo does next with Tears of the
Jesus.
Kingdom, it's going to be a
I
So-
didn't
letdown.
say anything.
What I think the future is Zelda. I mean, I think it is obvious that we're going to get some remasters, some remakes. Hopefully a 2D top-down Zelda as well. But the big thing is the next 3D Zelda. And I bet Nintendo has an optimism that it'll even be bigger than Breath of the Wild. And that's always going to be their goal. The Zelda
I
team's
got-
always
yeah.
trying to one up
I-
themselves.
Andres, I
Yeah.
got it. Ocarina of Time 2.
You mean Majora's Mask?
Whoa. I mean, okay,
mean-
Ocarina of Time 3.
No,
I
because
mean,
Majora's Mask
three.
isn't really a sequel to it, is it? Like a direct sequel to it?
No,
it's-
it's not a direct,
is.
but it's like
No, but it's Link. It's the same
It's-
Link. It takes place
yeah,
after
yeah.
Ocarina
I
of
guess
Time.
technically, yeah.
I mean,
is, but it
Princess
isn't.
Zelda.
But it's like
is-
it's also its own story on its own. It's not.
You don't need to play Ocarina of Time, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's still it's set after after Link comes back to the past.
Could you see them doing Ocarina of Time remake and then the following game being Ocarina of Time 2?
Probably not.
Here's the thing about Zelda games,
but I
and
would love
sequels.
it.
They wouldn't even make Tears of the Kingdom a true sequel to Breath of the Wild. And what I mean when I say that is like all like the champions, everyone, they wiped it clean. They made Tears of the Kingdom so people that never played Breath of the Wild could play it. And that was a game that came out on the same system cycle.
Mhm.
And they made it so, like, you go around Hyrule and people don't even like remember you're the person that just saved everyone. Like, you interact in towns and no one knows who you are. I mean, some characters do, sure. But like a lot, it doesn't feel like you're the
Yeah,
hero. Like,
a lot of
you're
fans
seen
are
as the
upset
hero.
with that.
Yeah, and that's how they do it with sequels. And if you look at, Majora's Mask to Ocarina of Time, same thing, right? It can be contained in itself. So even if they did a Ocarina of Time remake, to me, I don't know. It just seems unlikely that they go that route. But you know what? They did something brand new with Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
Well,
I
think
don't
of
know.
their
I don't know.
Think of their history. They've done Link to the Past, and then they did
A Link
what was
Between
it?
Worlds, right?
Link
But
Between Worlds.
that
That's
can
what I
be
was trying
played
to
on
say.
its own too.
No. But I'm saying like they've revisited Link to the Past by doing a quasi sequel to it in that
Yeah,
world.
that's what I was suggesting is another new like 2D sequel or just like a standalone 2D
I mean-
game. I think would go pretty hard in my opinion.
I mean,
I think
Yeah,
that's
a
the next
quasi
step.
sequel I get, but not like a straight up Ocarina of Time 2.
so the thing is that Twilight Princess and Wind Waker are also arguably sequels if you kind of look at it that way, because Wind Waker technically takes place just a little bit after a decent amount of time after Ocarina of Time, but it's like right. It's basically it gets
Now it's
confusing.
starting to get a little. It's a little bit of a stretch.
It's not a stretch. It's literally what
I think
happens, though.
Spirit Tracks is more.
Okay, but what I'm trying to say is not really, because literally so when you're an adult, right?
When
as
someone
Link-
says Twilight Princess, the first response is, oh, you mean the sequel to Wind Waker? Like, you know what I mean?
I understand what you're saying, but we're just talking about like story and like characters and like the world, like literally the world that you explore as an adult in Ocarina of Time, that world becomes the Wind Waker, and then the world that you explore as a child in Ocarina of Time, that world becomes.
Aren't they
Twilight
on
Princess.
different timelines?
Yes,
Yeah,
So-
I'm about to
Yeah.
tune out.
the
I'll
child
let you do your
timeline,
thing,
the
Rob.
adult timeline.
Yeah.
The adult timeline is the Wind Waker. The child timeline is Twilight Princess. Literally
Yep.
what I just said.
I
Yep.
know people get mad at Nintendo for the timeline of Zelda being all over the place and not really connecting, but the other perspective you could take from that is it allows Nintendo to make infinite Zelda games to stop asking questions.
Yeah, Breath of
I think
they
we all
were
agree
like, you
that
know what? Let's just
Zelda-
go so
they
far
don't
into
care
the
about the
future.
timeline. Nintendo doesn't care about the Zelda timeline.
Yeah, the timeline was retcon from the beginning, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah.
This is where I disagree with you guys, because there are interviews where they say they do take it into account, but it's not so important that it shapes the development of their game.
I think it's more of like I don't think they planned it out from the beginning, nor they think. I think it's more of like when you say they take it into consideration. I think it's like, oh,
They're gonna put some things
is
in
the
there,
story of
but
this
there's
game
gonna
gonna
be
fuck it
retcons.
all up, or like is it gonna invalidate something from a previous game, or can that work?
Yeah,
Within
they're
this
not gonna
universe?
bend over backwards to make everything fit. Like that's what it means.
That's
Sorry, what'd
probably
you
more
say?
what that means than anything.
They'll throw in bones for us to kind of like, oh, that's cool, that
Yeah.
connects, but they're never going to be like, oh, we need to like bring in like physicists and mathematicians to really make sure this makes sense. Like they're not going to go that hard on it.
It's
I
pretty
get
hard to
hard.
connect the timeline when it involves time travel.
Well, yeah, that's exactly. That's why I mean physicists.
I
Like
love
it
time
starts to
travel.
get into crazy stuff. But
That's why we'll never have a true sequel to Chrono Trigger.
Didn't we kind of agree that the only like mainline Nintendo franchise that has a continuous timeline is Metroid?
Yeah,
I think it has the most thought out timeline.
yeah.
It makes the most sense.
Or Kid Icarus.
Yeah.
I should say most intentional.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, the Metroid Prime series starts to muddy that a little bit because that's made by Tanabe, but then Sakamoto is a 2D Metroid creator.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's more thought into Metroid compared to Mario and Zelda.
I take issue with where they put Metroid Pinball. I don't agree with the timeline of that one.
See, and that's
Sorry.
one of those things
Sorry,
where
I had-
I know you're joking, but Metroid Prime Pinball is amazing. Like
It is.
Yeah. It is funny though, because the thing is, when I played the game as a kid, I was like, how are all these enemies alive? I killed them already. Like it, but I was like, I don't care. It's still fun. Yeah. But to go back to your question though, right? I've had like this like idea of what I want the next Zelda to be, and I could go in hours and just talking about that, and I'm not gonna. But I will say that the way Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom were made, those games were finally made because the systems allowed for it, right? They finally had the ability to produce those games. And so they did everything they could with Tears of the Kingdom. And then the next system, I think we all believe, is going to be substantially more capable. So whatever we thought, like if we think Tears of the Kingdom is kind of like this incredibly amazing thing, I'm kind of like just thinking, all right, well, they're gonna blow that out of the water because they're gonna have processing power to like overhaul that physics engine even more. So they're gonna be able to have even greater scope, more going on, and so
More delays.
and that's why I think we need this Ocarina of Time remake. I think we're gonna need some remasters, 2D Zeldas in between before we
Give
get
me
to that
some-
next Zelda.
Give me some desserts.
They did
snacks.
surprise people with Link's Awakening. Really, that wasn't like.
I need a
That was a
Hyrule
lot.
Warriors 2.
Yeah.
A sequel to the first one. Because look, you guys can go all you want, dude. It has a really damn good story.
I mean, but it just like I don't know. I just got so bored after like the first hour.
Okay. You
Well,
gotta
here,
set
kill it.
aside the
Well,
fact
here,
that
kill it.
Warriors gameplay is repetitive and boring. I get that.
Wait, Nate. Let me just ask you this: there is 2 Hyrule Warriors.
Yeah, Age of Calamity is not a sequel to the first one. That's the prequel.
Oh, you want a sequel to the first one?
Yeah, the first one has got its own original story.
I never played it. I saw it on the completionist channel though.
I bought it and never played it.
I bought it and played it and stopped playing after like 6 hours because it was just too repetitive.
I get it. I'm the only person that likes Hyrule Warriors. Moving on. That was my only commentary.
Calamity. I love Age of Calamity. Age of Calamity was awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome. And why were you into it? Probably because it's a prequel to Breath of the Wild. Whereas Hyrule Warriors is a completely original story.
I beat Age of Calamity, so how was I not into it?
I'm saying that you were probably into it because it was a prequel to a game you love versus a game that is its own original thing.
The story and characters definitely had me more.
Wait. You played Hyrule Warriors for the story?
Yeah, the story in Hyrule Warriors is amazing.
That is
how can you not want to see what happens?
Well, I think it goes beyond story though, because the game looked a lot like Breath of the Wild and it had a lot of similar mechanics. I mean, obviously it's a very different game, but it was cool. Also, this was back in 2020, the pandemic year, where that was the greatest drought.
Who needs to make excuses to play a Zelda spinoff? I am so confused. You don't need excuses.
Some Zelda spinoffs are really bad.
I've never played Spirit Tracks.
Name one.
No, that's not a spinoff.
Triforce Heroes.
Wait,
Triforce Heroes isn't a spinoff.
No.
Wait, Spirit Tracks is a mainline?
Yes.
That's mainline?
Yeah.
Yes. Those are both mainline games.
All right. I didn't like Cadence of Hyrule either.
That's an indie game that's not even.
That is a spinoff, though. That's a spinoff.
Yeah. Do we call it a spinoff?
I didn't like Crypt I just didn't like those games, like Crypt and the Necrodancer. I didn't like it either. I tried to.
I tried
it.
If
you don't like the game it's partnered with, then you won't like it.
That's about to say then you just don't like that.
Yeah.
I just don't like that
game.
style.
That rhythm combat stuff. Yeah.
Rhythm games are tough for me. Those are the hardest levels in Mario Wonder.
Link's crossbow training, Cody B said.
Dude, that's a great one.
I actually have it. I've never played it, but I have it.
Oh yeah, you should try it.
He's crapping on real games. Meanwhile, he's praising a mini game. Got it.
But
by the way, I like Link's crossbow trading too. So
why do you think that Spirit
you could have
Tracks
said the CDI Zelda games? Those are like universally just not good.
What I think
aren't those?
Yeah,
are those considered spinoffs?
Yes.
Just poor memory. I felt like
obviously, yeah.
It came out during a time of a bunch of other DS games, and I was just like, I didn't really focus on it.
I mean, I guess it also depends. Like, is Spirit Tracks a 3? It's not a. I mean, I don't put in the conversation as Ocarina of Time, Majora, Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, Skyward Sword, right? But it's on the timeline. It's made by a official Nintendo Zelda team last night. I mean, actually,
do you guys think
on the
after what they did with the Mario movie, highlighting Princess Peach a lot, and then giving Princess Peach her own game? Do you think that they could do something similar with Zelda?
Ooh, partnering with Philips again. I like
Zelda game.
That'd be cool.
So the
Did
game would
Zelda
be
finally get her own game on Switch too?
It's only fitting
Okay.
the last podcast of the year that didn't have a Zelda topic in any of the topics today
Divulges into
has
a
been a
topic.
Zelda topic for the entire
So
first hour.
I actually want to go back to what we were talking about earlier about the idea of like an Ocarina of Time sequel. So envision this scenario, right? Zelda movie's probably going to be a few years from now, but by the time it comes out, if we are going to get a remake of Ocarina of Time, it'll be after that. And you consider the recent interviews where they were kind of hinting at maybe some sort of increased playability or interaction with Princess Zelda. Imagine hot off an Ocarina of Time remake, hot off a Zelda movie where Zelda plays a prominent role. We get a movie that's based around Sheik, or not a movie, a game,
whoa.
a Sheik game.
Actually, that's what they could do for Ocarina of Time too. I think you were talking about this, Andres. You
Right,
played
like-
through it, but as Sheik. Like, so you see all the stuff you didn't see playing through it as Link.
Like either they throw that into the remake,
the
or
Zelda theory episode,
or it's like it's just like its own. It's a spinoff, right? It's a spinoff. And I think what's interesting, I think Retro Studios at one point they were trying to make a spinoff title like this. It was gonna be based off maybe not Sheik, but like a character very much like that, like a Sheik character, like a Sheikah Ninja, like that would be cool. A Sheikah Ninja game based in the world of Zelda, like that could be cool. And if it ends up being that's like Zelda in disguise, but you don't find out till the end of the game, like they kind of like pull a Samus, but in modern day, like they never tell us.
I don't know that, Andres, that opens up a whole can of worms. I don't think you can do that anymore because the internet ruined that kind of stuff. You can't have like a crazy reveal after a long game because it's like, oh, the game leaks 2 days before it comes out and it's everyone's talking about like,
games, yeah.
Is this a segueing into the whole issue with the cartridge thing, the flash cartridge?
Unintentionally, kind of is.
You could call this a segue.
Yeah, it's as good of a segue as we're gonna get, right?
Yeah.
Is that the next topic? The flashcard problem?
Yes, it is.
We might as well go into it because I think it's heavily related.
Let's get it.
I'll pretend I know what was just said. So flashcard. I legitimately was zoned out. Don't know how we even segued to this, but there's a flashcard coming for Nintendo Switch. It's happening. It is called the MIG Switch. It is not released yet. It's developed in Germany, but for some reason it's a Russian website. We'll get into that in a moment. That's it. They're just trying to skirt all the laws. There's no prices for it. They are currently taking on distributors. So this is where you go to Amazon and other warehouses or whatever. They're going to actually carry it to sell it. We don't know the price on it. And yes, it does work. It works with every single operating system on Switch. There is some caveats, though, that have been brought up that isn't going to be in a video on my channel tomorrow, but it is worth talking about because Nintendo was prepared for this for a while. So according to Mike Heskin, who is one of the primary data miners and hackers of Nintendo Switch, who's been helping with the homebrew scene, he said 5 bullet points on this. Basically, the Lotus 3, it's okay if you don't know what that means. It says it has to be decapped. It's necessary to certain secret hardware keys used for communication and to decrypt the game card certificate. So basically what they're saying is the game card certificates have to be decrypted by Nintendo in the first place. So since the game card certificates still need to be signed, you will always need at least one legitimate certificate to forge anything. Certificates are tied to a single physical game card. They can still be tracked and blacklisted even when forging communications. Hence why the supply your own policy, which translates to, we don't know if bans will happen, but if they do, better not trace it back to us. If you actually read their website, there's an entire policy on there like, oh, it's not our fault that people are using flashcards to play illegal ROMs, because that's exactly why flashcards are actually popular. Anyways, Nintendo predicted this at some point to happen, so a second security scheme that relies exclusively on asymmetric crypto has always been on standby. I bet they're going to put it in action on the console or on Switch via a firmware update. Basically, they already have a security measure in place to block flashcards. It's just not active at the moment. So suspect once this card's out there and Nintendo can get their hands on it, they're going to be dropping a firmware update. So it's no longer going to work on all firmware. It won't work on whatever the latest one is.
I mean, can I just interrupt real quick and just say it kind of strikes me as frightening that video game companies have higher levels of security and thought than world government. But go on.
Yeah, for real.
it kind of like, for me, it's hard to like really care that much because like everything that all this does is it just makes it easier for people who can't figure out how to do it on their regular Switch. Because you can do everything the Flash card can do. You can do it right now. I have this Switch right here. I can go to the eShop, pick any game I want, and download it for free. If you're watching Nintendo, I'm just kidding, but I'm not kidding. And no,
Hey,
you.
prove it
I mean,
to us live. Prove it, Jake.
Right now.
us.
Show it. Give us an in-depth tutorial.
yeah, no, that's a great idea.
This is probably why Nate got
No, but seriously, like if you know how to do it, you can do it right now without a flash card. You can just use an SD. Once you do it to your Switch, you just take the SD card, pop it out, put it in your computer, put whatever you want on there, pop it back in. I mean, it's easy. You can do it right now. So this just makes it easier for the masses, and that's what Nintendo's afraid of.
Yeah.
I mean, they know it can already be done, and they can't keep up with it because every time they try to do an update for like stability, that it's just to try to stop the people who do that all the time. And they typically do it before a new game. They typically do it before a new game drops to try to stop the people who get the game a few days early. But all it does is it stops the people who need to wait for the public updates on GitHub to come out, and then it's just but still hundreds of people still download the brand new game when the stability update comes out. So they just want to make it as hard as possible. But once this comes out, the smart people will continue to make updates as well to bypass that security. The reason the security isn't active now is because they know as soon as they put it into effect and people start using the flashcards, it's only a matter of time before they find a way around that too. So they wanted to keep it hidden as long as possible.
Well, here's a greater concern too, is say they do implement that patch and update for the crypto whatever, and it does work, and they start working on getting around that. My concern I brought up in my video when I was talking about this is a greater concern is the Switch 2 and backwards compatibility. And if it has the same slot, it's going to be an issue that follows it forever.
Yeah,
starting
that's true. Yeah, it's like the 3DS.
Yeah, you're
with the
muted.
DS one.
No, you're not.
See, here's the thing. I'm not as concerned with the backwards compatibility thing with it because all that really means is if you were hoping Nintendo was going to do cross-gen for a couple of years, they'll just not do it. And they'll just make it all on Switch 2 then.
Well, I mean, you're assuming that they haven't started prototypes of the Switch 2 and haven't started some sort of production of them. I'm thinking
they probably have.
Yeah.
But that won't matter because the flash card won't work for Switch 2 games in particular. It'll only work.
Yeah, but they'll still be able to do it.
But it would still be
Switch
able
games.
to work for Switch games on the Switch 2.
On the Switch 2. Yeah, exactly.
But that's why I said they just won't do cross-gen anymore. So like they can't do anything about the games that have already released. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Plus, there's always the inherent risk, and this is going to be true for anyone on any of these systems. If you're using this and you're using it with illegal ROMs, by the way, they are providing a cart that can actually allow you to, without hacking your Switch, create backups of your own files. So you can dump your own games, supposedly. That's what it says on the website, with one of their devices. And then you can then put that on there. And in theory, you shouldn't get in trouble with that since that game ID and everything is unique to just you. It's just replicating your cartridge. But
I'm curious on that.
If Nintendo detects it, they can still ban you from online.
Yes, if they detect it. So the big thing is Nintendo has to detect you're using the flash card. And if they can't detect the flash card because it's mimicking the cartridge perfectly fine, but if you're using a ROM, Nintendo has all the IDs of all the ROMs that are floating on the internet right now. So if you ever access Nintendo Switch Online, your Switch is banned.
Yeah, exactly.
And that'll be true on Switch 2 as well. Your Switch 2 will be banned as well.
Want to know what's crazy, dude? Because I've messed around with the Switch hacking scene for a while, and I had one that got banned from online. You can still update it. You can still update your games. You can do everything because if you have more than one Switch, you can match to your local user. So you just update your legit Switch.
Oh, wow.
And then it will update offline locally to that Switch that's not banned. So you can continue to update it. You can continue to update all the games, like everything. So it's crazy.
Yeah, the hacking scenes, it's been insane on Switch since day one. I mean, they used an off-the-shelf component that had a known vulnerability and didn't fix it. So that just opened the floodgates day one.
So I guess my question, I mean, I had a couple questions. So first one. So with this sort of flashcard thing, we look at games like Animal Crossing New Horizons, which Nintendo doesn't allow cloud saves for, right? And I think the thinking behind that was because it could lead to cheating. Because these flashcards allow you to back up your games, including, I assume, also New Horizons, wouldn't that like conceivably upset Nintendo like that? It's giving people access to games in a way that Nintendo did not want them to have access to. You understand what I'm getting at? Well, if you, so, I don't fully understand this. So I'm just trying to make sure I understand. So the flashcard allows you to back up all your games digitally. Does that include the save data?
Don't know.
Okay. I assumed it also meant save data.
Yeah,
I think, Andres, you bring up a good question on user rights and privileges too. And this is going to completely derail everything, but Nintendo, you said Nintendo doesn't like that. It's like, well, what about if you buy the game and it's your damn game, you can do whatever the hell you want.
You don't own the game, actually. You only own a license to play.
Well, that's what Nintendo says.
No, that's actually what the law says. Actually, it's literally in the law. You only own a license. Just like when you buy a movie, you don't own the movie. You own a license to watch.
Is this the global law or is this the law?
There's a U.S. There's some countries that won't even let you make
own the
backups.
license for a physical game you bought. That means you can play it. However, you can do whatever. You just can't give it to anyone else. Distribute it.
Yeah,
you
can't
can do
distribute
anything.
it.
You can back it up. You can.
Yep. You can do whatever you want with it.
In the U.S., that's
just
legal
for you. Yeah, in the U.S. Yes.
There are some countries where you can't even make backups, but the U.S. isn't one of them.
But yeah, the thing is, if Nintendo detects that, you don't have to do something illegal for them to ban you from online or ban your Switch.
Yeah, and the problem with the license thing is that when they
whatever
ban
they
you,
consider,
what they're trying to do, they're trying to say that we're revoking your right to use that license. And technically, this is the part that gets sticky with the law. They have the ability to revoke your right to that license at any time for any reason.
And I just want to say, for legal purposes, everything I said before was not real. It was just to make a point.
Yeah.
Right.
It wasn't real, guys. I was just trying to make a point.
Just going back to that though, about how the rights and stuff, and you're saying, well, you don't technically own it, it's a license. The problem with digital is that actually is giving the power to the corporation to enforce that law. Whereas with physical games, it was a lot harder to enforce it. So yeah, it's there, but they can't really do anything about it.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Doesn't this fall under the same clause as like an action replay or like cheating devices? Like, I mean, I guess like on a
wait. Can I answer one question about the save data? Because I actually know how that works.
Yeah.
So when you mod a Switch, it lets you put things on it that do allow you to create backup saves, overwrite saves, have multiple save files, store them for later. And if what I read about the flashcard, it's basically like modding your Switch without modding your Switch when you put it in. So yes, it would give you access to those programs as well if you just put them on the SD card. And there will definitely be a way to do that.
We don't know yet. The only thing we've seen with the flashcard is that you have to you keep popping it in and out to switch which game. That's the only thing we've seen. We haven't seen
Trust
any
me, dude. If it's a flashcard where you can put an SD card in, they will easily be able to figure out how to give you all the, I guess, like amenities that you can by just modding your Switch the regular way.
I don't know about that because they're just using the base Switch OS.
You want to make a bet? Because I'm very confident.
That's fine. You can be very confident, but if the Switch OS, the reason why that hasn't happened yet.
Wearing the Celtics jersey for the last bet you lost to me.
Oh, Jake, I wanted to read you this tweet, Jake. This is specifically for you. This is why I came onto the show tonight, despite my my poor health.
Oh shit! Okay.
Yeah. So this, I follow basketball Twitter. This is completely irrelevant to the conversation, but Legion Hoops quoted Udonis Haslem, a lifetime Miami Heat player, and he said this, apparently, according to the OG show. I like Tatum, Brown, but them old mother bleepers, KG and Paul, I don't with y'all. If I see y'all in the grocery store, it's on. I don't care what aisle. It could be a 7-Eleven, around the cheese dip, all of it's getting flipped over.
Around the cheese dip is
They have
crazy.
cheese dip at 7-Eleven. All right, sorry, continue.
Yeah, well, that's the quote.
I don't-
Udonis Haslam's gonna throw it down with KG and Paul if he sees him in public.
That is
I put my money on
crazy.
KG and Paul.
What?
I put my money on KG and Paul.
I mean, if it's both of them, maybe. Yeah.
I mean,
Dude, KG can
Listen,
handle it by himself.
Paul's from Inglewood, man. I put my money on Paul alone.
That's true, dude. He got stabbed and still played.
Yeah, like 7 times in the back, right?
So
Yeah.
back to the topic.
At least now I live with no regrets.
So how is this related to what we were talking about previously? Because when I spaced out,
He
No,
said
it's
it wasn't.
complete. Oh, no. The Udonis NBA stuff, no, it's not. But how was this a good segue? Because JT was talking about my idea for like if there is a spin-off title where you play as a character that looks kind of like a Sheikah ninja or Sheik, but at the end of the game they do convert, like the way the game's promoted, you're not sure if it's actually Sheik, just like a Sheikah ninja. But at the end of the game, it's revealed that it's actually Princess Zelda. And then JT is like, oh, but we can't really do that in this day and age because the game will leak before I don't know if everyone will know. And I was like, oh, right. Because thanks to physical cards, people get that and leak out the games. And then I was like, oh, flashcards.
There
Segue
it
into.
is.
oh
Cool.
yeah, well that's not going to be the case right away on Switch 2. That only was right away on Switch because it was hack day one.
Yeah,
Switch 2 won't be hack day one.
this spinoff probably won't come out day one on Twitch 2.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
no,
hypothetical.
but I mean, you got to look how long it took. It usually takes about 2 years for new systems to finally get hacked. So as long as it comes out within the first 2 years, that won't be a problem.
Didn't they like hack the Switch pretty quick?
It was hack day one.
Yeah, that's pretty
So
quick.
But that's
funny.
because there was a known vulnerability with the chip. So that's why. they
Oh,
didn't do
right.
it.
So now that's gonna be a more customized.
Yeah, it won't
thing.
be a day one
Yeah.
hack. It's probably going to be the
Mhm.
standard 2 years to get through everything.
And we're all in agreement that the Switch 2 is going to be just a souped up version of the Switch 1. It's gonna still switch.
I hope
right?
so. I hope so, man.
I
I'd really
think it's gonna
hope they
have
don't
a
do some.
refrigerator, but
I hope they
no.
don't do some crazy
That's a
weird
theory.
stuff. They don't go all Wii U with it, man. I just
Yeah.
Nintendo, just give us like a better, just give us a better Switch, man. The Switch is just so innovative and it fills
Yeah.
that market share
Give us
space.
Joy-Cons that don't drift,
mean,
and I'm happy.
Yeah, just make the Joy-Cons better, keep the battery life, upscale just give us a better Switch. That's all we want. We really you give us too many bells and whistles or you try to go too different, you'll just have another Wii.
It really
I guess
is.
I just wonder if
and
Nintendo
I'm
believes-
honestly deathly scared of that happening. Because the Nintendo's track record is it's a banger and then a dud and a banger and a dud, and we just went through a banger of a generation, so we're
Yeah.
due for a dud.
Wait,
Um,
here's the
I think it's
crazy idea.
impossible.
Here's
for
a
it to be
crazy
dud.
idea because Nintendo does like to throw in a gimmick every time there's a console, but sometimes they're good, sometimes they're not. Sometimes they're like they're not good, but they don't take away from it, like the 3DS.
Yeah.
What if remember how we saw those like prototypes where it like had like a flip up screen like the DS?
Yeah.
What if there's like a screen inside of it that like detaches and then you have 2 switches, but it's like one of them is like a Wii U thing, so you can play 2 players on one system and each have their own whole screen. If you have an extra set of
Insane.
Joy-Cons.
I can just
don't
see the battery life crying. Go on.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
say in theory you could do that, but
I'm just thinking.
It's
All
just
right.
it's not that it's
I'm
not a
just
cool idea. It's just it wouldn't be cost effective.
Yeah, no, you're right.
All right.
I
but-
love it though. I'm like, keep talking. I like
But
it.
before we dive into the
Yeah.
Switch, it's
Gotta
actually
have
our
fun.
last topic of the day.
yeah.
Let's first reflect on the year that was, since this potentially might be the final year that Switch is Nintendo's only system.
Oh,
So
it is.
just looking back at this year, like what are your guys' thoughts? We've had a lot of really big. I mean, it was a pretty good year for Nintendo in terms of releases.
Yeah.
So what? How do you guys feel just reflecting on 2023 for Nintendo?
Spoiled.
It was a banger year. I mean, it was just a 2023 and for gaming in general.
It was great.
I think is
Yeah.
probably like we haven't had a year like this since like either 2018 or 2007, whenever Galaxy came out. There's a whole other I mean, just for gaming in general, this has been just a fantastic.
I mean,
year.
even though it was obvious that Nintendo had no shot at Game of the Year, that doesn't mean they didn't have like really good games. You know what I mean?
Okay, no shot is a crazy word to say.
What's the
I
game that
do
has the
go-
second most Game of the Year wins this year? Right, Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah, what's one of the first?
But
We're gonna talk about
I
that
do
game.
agree that Baldur's Gate 1000% deserve it. No, I mean, I just forget sometimes. Like, so obviously, Tears of the Kingdom, we have Pikmin 4, we had a sequel to Pikmin that we didn't even think we would ever get ever, right? Like, that's awesome. And I would say, honestly, it's the best Pikmin experience out of all the games. That's just me though.
Best
I feel
Pikmin
like
game? Yeah.
I think it is by far the best Pikmin game. It is the definitive Pikmin experience, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You have the remake of Super Mario RPG. This is a game I loved that. I had never played that game before. Banger, awesome. Super Mario Wonder came out of left field, last minute drop in the back
Don't
half of
forget-
23.
Don't forget
Amazing.
Mario, Metroid Prime remastered.
Metroid Prime remaster. Oh my god,
Oh, yeah.
they shadow dropped Metroid Prime remaster. Can we talk about how freaking insane that was? They shadow dropped Metroid Prime remastered. And awesome.
Crazy.
Just awesome year.
Yeah.
Fantastic. year.
Also, they very quickly announced and released right before Tears of the Kingdom the best expansion of the year in Future Redeemed.
I was
Even though,
wondering
yeah,
if you're going to bring that up.
Yeah, well, the Game Awards may not be aware that it's the best expansion, but I mean, if you go by, all review scores and just people who played the game, it is.
Okay, that was 22. Pokemon.
Yeah, and we also got Advance Wars, Return to Dreamland Deluxe. Fire Emblem Engage is a solid Fire Emblem game. Like year's been good.
It's been a banger year.
We no longer have to speculate. Oh, when are they going to announce Detective Pikachu 2? They came out with it and it sucked.
Oh my god, it was so bad. We don't talk about that.
Wait, which game? I didn't hear you.
Detective Pikachu Returns.
Oh, yeah.
For years, you're like, hey, where's Detective Pikachu 2? They told us they're making it, and they finally came out with it, and it just was
in the same.
Oh, they had. Did we say
mediocre.
Advance Wars and WarioWare?
Oh yeah,
No, I didn't mention WarioWare.
Bayonetta Origins.
Let me say,
sure.
Nintendo delaying Advance Wars for Ukraine political reasons may have been the single dumbest marketing decision they could have ever done.
Yeah,
because
the intent I understand, but
it's a video game. Like they're making a statement with it that no one even cares about, and that's creating a situation. It's like just release the game. No one cared.
Yeah, you drew way more attention by doing that than you would have. No one would have batted an eye.
100%.
All right,
and if they did, they'd be like,
"Yeah, drama YouTuber."
What's that?
I said, "Get off of it, you drama YouTuber."
I'm just saying. From a personal.
No, I actually agree with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really stupid. Remember the one person that had pre-ordered it digitally, and it just like downloaded and let them play it?
Yes.
And then they were tweeting about it, and then like within like an hour of their tweeting about it, like they lost their access.
Yep.
Like, dude, why just leave your Switch not online?
Yeah. So to go down the list, we have Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom, Super Mario Brothers Wonder, Pikmin 4. We have Sea of Stars. I don't think that was a Switch exclusive, but it was on
not.
there. Yeah, that's what I thought. Fire Emblem Engage, Advance Wars reboot. We have Detective Pikachu Returns. That's the only L we've had so far. Kirby Return to Dreamland Deluxe. How did we forget that? Another banger.
I didn't forget it. I just didn't feel like saying it.
Sure. You what? Say that again.
I didn't forget it, but I just didn't feel like it was important enough to say.
Octopath Traveler 2. That wasn't that bad. For a JRPG, I'm not a JRPG.
That wasn't a Switch exclusive.
Was that exclusive?
Yeah,
I don't think it was.
My bad.
That was all platform.
My bad. The only thing we care about is exclusives. Apparently, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
No, that's what
I
we were
was just
talking
thinking
about.
of games that were very.
The 2023 year of Switch. It doesn't have to be just exclusives.
Well, he literally goes Sea of Stars. Wait, that wasn't
heavily
exclusive,
dropped
so
on Switch.
Signifying that he was talking about exclusives.
My bad.
I think it's a good point to bring up, though,
Remastered. We said
aren't the only reason think it's important.
What else?
Just games with your Switch.
I think that was all the exclusives that we got this year. That like the big ones that I can think. Oh, WarioWare, and then the Bayonetta Origins. Everything else is like they're multi-platform. So some other ones that I feel like are very good experiences on Switch, but are not Switch exclusives. Octopath Traveler 2, Dave the Diver. What are some other
great
ones
indie game?
Yeah, great indie game.
Hogwarts Legacy.
You can, oh, I did it release on
That's the
Switch? I can't.
opposite
That's
of
actually
good to play
crazy.
on Switch.
And
It
apparently
did.
people
All
like
right,
it.
sure.
even though it's
Hogwarts
not.
Dude,
Legacy. if you're
it's
into
funny.
that.
Everyone that complains about Hogwarts Legacy on Switch are the people not playing it, and everyone
That's
who's playing
true.
it's loving it.
That's
true.
It's just
Yeah,
crazy.
no, I loved playing it on other platforms.
I'm sure you did. Good
Because
game.
it's
Sonic Superstars. We have what? There's some other things. There's something else. Oh, see, and then the Sea of Stars, which I listed previously, but it's yeah. And I think those are some. That's a good list. That's a
Then
pretty good roster for
there
1
was a
year
nice
of
little
gaming.
flub there. Was it Mortal Kombat 1?
Oh yeah.
No,
Graphical
no.
glitches
Yeah,
at
yeah,
launch.
yeah,
Pokemon
yeah.
And a lot
DLCs.
of graphical
You could
glitches
al-
at launch. Yeah.
You could also talk about the
Yeah.
Pokemon DLCs as well. So you have
Yeah.
Pokemon DLC Part 1 and 2.
Or the better
Uh,
Xenoblade
The
DLC.
Xenoblade DLC.
Yeah. Anyways, so there you go. There's your year of Nintendo.
Good year.
Thoughts.
Great
What's
year.
our
I think
other
this
than
was-
Tears of the Kingdom? What was our personal favorites?
Ooh, Pikmin 4.
Pikmin 4.
Pikmin 4.
That was.
Gone.
I think it was for me. I mean, Pikmin 4 was great. I think it was Mario RPG because I had never played it, and I knew it was a good game, and I know it's like been a mainstay for forever, but it was still a very pleasant surprise for me personally.
My problem has always been I didn't even bother picking it up this year because when Mario RPG came out, I was very frustrated as a veteran of RPGs. Even when I was a kid, I flew through it and was bored. It was too easy, and I'm like, I need more of a challenge, and I feel like it's too easy. Is there a hard mode on Mario RPG Remake?
No, there's actually an easier mode.
They made the game easier.
Well, I know a lot of people that actually play RPGs all the time that felt the same.
And they also made the main game easier.
RPG.
They also made the main game easy, like the regular mode easier by you have like a meter that fills up. So like you know how like you do the action commands, like as like somebody tries to hit you, you time it right. So there's a meter that fills up the more you successfully do that. And when that meter fills up, you can do it like a team ultimate attack, like an ultimate team attack. And that's just like another way you can do like spread damage. So there's like another option to do like big. And then also when you time your attacks correctly, they do more like spread damage through all the NPCs, which I appreciate from a respecting my time perspective. But at the same time, it does make it quite easy, but it's unfortunate that the way they made the game hard was to throw more ads at you and not add some sort of more creative difficulty to
Yeah,
it.
but
anyways,
I mean, the
that's
bright
just
side is it was a good year for 2D turn-based RPGs. Like, just go. Like, if you want the challenge, go Octopath Traveler 2. If you want more in between, go Sea of Stars.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I need to try Sea of Stars.
Yeah, they had some questionable NPCs.
Yeah, I think I'm a glutton for punishment when it comes to RPGs. Like, especially starting it out at a low level. If I can find an RPG that kicks my ass right when you get started and makes me want to like play it more to
Like
get
Dark
through
Souls.
Yeah, well, I like more turn-based type RPGs that kick my ass, like Final Fantasy 2
I
and
gotcha.
3, and
Yeah.
even Chrono Trigger at the beginning of that's a hard game at the beginning until you level up and stuff. So I feel like that's kind of lost on the next generation of games because
Octopath is really good for that.
It is. I don't like the segmented storylines. I just want to focus on one group. You know,
Yeah,
like
the
I like
story
Octopath
is a weak
Traveler.
point for sure. Yeah, it's hard to find something that checks all those boxes.
Right. But Octopath Travelers 2 is really good.
Did you ever play Persona 5? I mean, it's not 2D, but
I played it for I played it for like 20 minutes and then got distracted and never because it was too much.
Dude, it takes like 5 hours just to beat the tutorial. But once you do, dude, it starts to get so hard, and it's the story's awesome. Like, did you ever play Fire Emblem 3 Houses?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so you know, like in between the battles, like when you just like become friends with the students and stuff.
Yes,
that is like in between every mission Persona. They basically copied
well,
that.
that's what I was gonna say. That part of Fire Emblem I didn't like I just
Okay.
wanted the battles. Like I hated how it kept going to the town and doing
Yeah,
all
no,
that.
this is more like interwoven
Streamlined.
to the point where like you can battle all the time. It's like an RPG. You can grind all day. You don't have to do that in between. But it's like when you're done grinding and you need a little change of pace, then you can do it when you want. It's not like something that's forced upon you.
It's kind of
On
funny. Like
And the story's so good, so it makes it a good overall experience.
Oh, and I was thinking, by the way, I have
Sorry,
Persona
Andres.
4.
We'll get to you.
I have Persona 4 Golden on PS Vita. That's the
Hmm.
one that I played. I haven't played Persona 5.
Oh yeah, just jump right into 5.
Like skip 4 Gold.
They're all their own stories. It's like Final Fantasy.
I must use the
okay.
Russian. I will return in a moment.
But was it you, Andres, that was speaking? Or no, Andres, what were you saying?
Oh, don't worry about it.
No, I want to know.
Well, damn.
I'm just
No, this
kidding.
is a topic that I like. So I want to know.
No,
what you
I was just gonna say, with Fire Emblem, yeah, it's fun how streamlined it is, but there is still like that hub area you can kind of enjoy. But what I find funny about it is that with 3 houses, it was more mandatory, and even though like you could argue that it's kind of an improvement, there's a lot of people who are like, nah, 3 houses was better. But I think it really just
I
comes
liked
down
it
to
better,
preference.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would
also
say
understand what Jeff is saying, and that's why they gave us Engage, because that is just battles.
right.
Mm.
I think it's 2 different styles, and so we
Yeah.
have both. So take your pick.
I feel like if they varied it more instead of battle town, like if there was more like battle, oh, you can go to a town here, battle, town here.
Yeah.
Like I think that would make the town part of it more engaging because I'd care to explore it and find out more about it. Be like, oh, here we go again, every single time. But I mean, that was the same thing with what was that other Square Enix turn-based game that came out last year that was so freaking good? Why can't I think of the name of it? Turn-based.
Describe it a little bit.
It's basically Final Fantasy Tactics for the new era.
Oh, Project Triangle Strategy?
Yeah. So yeah, thank you. Project Triangle was so damn good, but there was way too much storyline that you have to like sit through in between every single battle. And I'm like, this combat is like crack. I'm like, I just want the combat. Give me more of this combat. And I'm like reading, I'm like, okay, I get it. It's just like, and they did the same thing with 3 houses with the town in between. So I'm like, just let the game be the game. Why are we injecting the storyline too much? But I mean, I'm just sound like a boomer when I talk about that. But anyway.
No. It makes sense.
But yeah, Project Triangle or whatever, Triangle Strategy was so good. God, that was a good game. So underrated. No one ever talks about it. I forgot the name of it, for God's sake.
Yeah, that was the Octopath team, right?
Yes. Yeah. But great
Hmm.
game, and you can get it cheap now. I've seen it on sale, the physical copy, on sale often for like $30. So
Oh, okay, yeah, it's not bad.
if people haven't played it, and you like Final Fantasy Tactics, or if you've never played them, great game. Anyway, carry on.
You're good. It's been a great year.
Yeah,
Great year for
banger year.
everyone.
Can I ask everyone? I don't know if you had this on your to-do list. What game you're most looking forward to in 2024?
So, T, we actually have a super chat question for that for our Q&A section.
Oh, sorry. Carry on
So
then.
we're going to save that one.
Okay.
It's okay. This is what I do. I'm running the show. I got it. So I guess we can get into our next topic, which I know I kind of cut you guys off. Switch 2 is so exciting to talk about. I totally get it. There's a rumor on a possible January event. Now Necro Felipe is out there saying that, hey, he thinks Nintendo's going to reveal this thing before the end of March because of an investors meeting they have going on in May. And then I just put some general notes like, what does it need to do to impress us, and are we confident it's even going to come? So the floor is your guys. Who wants to just start talking about this?
All right, I'll talk first. And what I want to say first is a question, and that question is going to be for you, Nate. How do you feel about this?
Feel about Switch 2?
Yeah.
You're trying to get me to start the conversation, is what you're saying?
I started the conversation with a
You
question.
started by asking me a question. I threw the topic out. You just threw it at me. That's what you did. As if
no,
we haven't had a billion Switch 2 conversations. in
I
the
just
past.
want just to keep it simple. You don't have to explain everything. But do you feel confident that Switch 2 is coming out next year?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Scale of 1 to 10.
Oh yeah.
I will tell
Yeah,
you,
see, now if
Switch
Jake was
2
betting against me on that,
That has to-
I
that
might
has to
second
Are
guess.
you? Are you?
Wait, no,
Switch
I'm not.
2
I
will
think
be
I've
revealed.
always. I'm the one that thought it would come out in March.
All right, so actually,
a
I
year
think that'll be
ago.
fun.
That
On a
was the
scale of
big
1 to
threat.
10, 10 being you'll bet your life on it, 1 being
That's
you're an
whoa,
idiot.
already bet his
whoa,
channel on it.
whoa.
You
I
already
don't
bet
know
his
to bet
channel
my
on it.
life on
Pandemic,
this.
I don't
Well,
care
then
about my
don't
life
say
on
10.
anything ever happening.
All right. Let me rephrase. 10 on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 you would bet your YouTube channel on it. 1
That's
already
still his
did.
life, but okay.
10.
one you
Well,
think
what do I
someone's
win?
an idiot for thinking it could come out next year.
What do I win if I'm right? Because I wouldn't bet it for nothing.
10.
His YouTube
Just
channel.
hypothetically, I just want to know how
Pink slip,
confident
baby.
you are.
See,
in
yeah,
Switch
I'm glad he
2.
said hypothetically, but 10.
Hypothetically, okay.
I'll
It
do
is
100
coming
just
out-
because I don't
it
have a
is
YouTube
coming
channel. I can have it.
It is coming out.
They can
So,
have
all right.
mine.
So we got 2 10s. So Vlam, where are you at with this? 1 through 10.
That I think it's coming out next year, like 100%. It would be
So
honestly.
you would bet your
the
YouTube
biggest
channel.
Well, yeah, my YouTube channel ain't nothing. So I would bet my Twitch. If you want my Twitch channel, then we're talking something different.
I'm gonna bet 11. I will stop taking my medication if it doesn't.
Gee.
Wait,
Let's not
whoa.
go back. Let's not go
Wait
there.
a second. Whoa.
no,
Hypothetically.
I
That
definitely.
is hypothetical.
I think it'd be
Yeah,
one of
you
the biggest.
gotta be honest,
marketing-
hypothetically.
Hypothetically, I
And-
may wear a Jason Tatum jersey on a future episode. Hypothetically.
You
JT,
already
how
got
about
to
you?
wear Celtics.
Yeah, I know.
I think that the Switch 2 is going to be announced in Q1 of 2024. And then it will come out in Q3.
So we talking fiscal quarter or yearly
Oh,
quarter?
no, annual quarter, calendar quarter.
Calendar.
Like it'll be announced March and it will come
Hmm.
out in September.
Okay.
Okay.
I think that's pretty
Yeah,
fair.
honestly, I think that's the boot. That's the vibe.
Yeah.
I think that is the current consensus. Yeah.
My number that I'm gonna put is an 8, but that's probably just because I'm more cautious than you guys.
Pussy.
You're just gonna
Dude,
lose it.
hype it responsibly, baby. Dude, this thing's getting revealed in like 2.5 weeks. Get out of here. 2.5 weeks, dropping in April.
January.
I say
Oh,
I
wow.
say I would
Alright.
be surprised if it wasn't revealed. What's the major whatever the major spring direct is? If it's not revealed in that one, I'd be
Got to be
surprised.
revealed before that February direct, baby.
You know
2.5
what? They
weeks from
need
now.
to. They do need to reveal it sooner than
They're
later.
gonna
because
push
they-
that direct back to April or something.
Well,
like they
the
did
thing
when
is, there
Switch
is
had
a-
its event.
The financial Q&A, we're gonna get that at the beginning of the first week of February. So in theory, we could get like a code name announcement or an intent suggested, and then the February direct could come shortly afterwards, which
Just
may or may
read-
not have anything to do with the Switch 2. But
Dude, know what they do? On Pokemon Day, they announced that Gens 1 through 6 are going to be on Nintendo Online on Switch 2 only.
Oh, jeez.
Dude,
I
that
mean-
actually that would move so many units. That'd be
Right?
crazy.
And
They
they,
could
wouldn't
do
have
us a
to do
teaser
shit.
trailer.
What it really though?
January.
'Cause anyone who wants to play Gen 1 through 6 can literally pirate it. I know, shouldn't
Yeah.
support that, but
Well,
So-
here's the thing: Pokemon fans are going to want to buy a Switch 2 regardless. But knowing that would incentivize them to get it as soon as
Mhm.
possible,
well,
especially if they're all compatible with Pokemon Home.
But I will say this:
There's
though,
a
like
lot of fun to be
incentivizing
had
it as
there.
soon as possible. But why would they have to get it as soon as possible? In theory, they should be there forever. They don't have to get it right away.
Well,
mean,
because
Pokemon
they want to
fans are
start
bitches,
playing
they're gonna
those and
buy that
adding
shit
to
anyways,
Pokemon
but
Home so they
anyways.
can transfer them into other games in a much easier way than it's currently allowed.
But don't you think most of
There's a lot of
Pokemon fans
incentive.
that
Don't,
know, but
don't talk about something you don't understand.
no,
all right?
no. But don't you think most of the Pokemon fans who love those gens have already taken care of this?
Dude, you don't understand because you're not a Pokemon fan. Me and Austin are, and we're saying that it would incentivize. So listen.
It would,
I'm
but
a Pokemon
also
fan.
Pokemon fans,
Oh,
yeah, like if
right.
you just give them like a crumb of something on the new system, it's like they have to have that game. They are even on any.
I don't
like,
know.
any
I don't
game,
know
any-
that
they have
Type
to
of
get
Pikachu
it.
Returns was moving you.
That was the only
sure.
like that's like
Okay.
the only exception
Mainline.
because it's not something where like you didn't get a Pokemon from Detective Pikachu. You didn't. It wasn't one of your little buddies that you get to call yours. You didn't get to name him like, oh, little ass fart boy, little pee-pee, little
Yeah,
piss
you can get to bend him
Pokemon,
over
right?
a barrel and show him the 50
Yeah,
states.
this is my little pee-pee piss boy, and I trained him from the
Yes.
get-go, and I am attached to
yes.
him. And this is it. This is that's the draw Pokemon. And
Yeah, you
if
catch a
the second they
Metapod,
can go
you
and catch
nickname it
another one of
Penis,
those,
you say
all right,
penis,
well,
use Harden in battle.
all
and
right,
you have
now
a great time.
we're gonna
hold
really
on,
now
hold
we're
on.
really
Let
going off
me-
the rails with the
let me-
inappropriateness of
let
it.
me
But
reel it-
yeah,
Let me reel it back in though.
reel it back in.
Think of read the tea leaves. Look at the obvious things we have in front of us. The major games coming first party from Nintendo announced for next year are drumroll, Peach Showtime,
Peach.
and that's
Holy cow!
In terms of new games.
Oh,
that's it.
and
Princess Peach
Thousand Year Door.
Showtime? It's
Thousand Year Door.
showtime. Come
Who's
on.
Thousand Year
was
Door
it?
coming to? 1,000 Years.
Look, I
Paper
think they're
Mario?
holding
Okay,
every
1,000 Years
single
is a
big
remake.
game announcement
That's
until
fair,
Switch
that's
2 is
fair.
revealed.
But they'll
So it's got to be revealed early.
they'll still like use that as like
No,
fodder.
There's
they-
nothing to hype up for Nintendo right now.
Dude,
For new
exactly
games.
to that point, they have to announce the Switch 2 in the first quarter so that they can announce the games coming out for it later in the year. Like they can't just be like, here are the
Marketing.
games coming out. We don't have a system for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the obvious why I would bet
Plus,
like 100% it's coming
based
out
on the current lineup that they have coming, I'm sure Nintendo is expecting a even bigger sales decline next year for Switch than happened this year when we had a lot of big games coming. We don't have a Fire Emblem launching next year with a Zelda game coming a few months later. Like they don't have that giant lineup at the moment. And so without that, that means the sale decline is going to be like this. And if they go into that investors meeting, heading, the end of year investors meeting that also kicks off the following fiscal year, and they don't have this thing announced yet, the investors will also not be happy because all they're going to see is, hey, we're on decline. What the hell are you doing about it?
Yeah. I don't know about it coming out in March, but I think you guys are right. It's got to be announced February, I think, personally, at the latest. And
I need to ask you guys a question.
Before the Pokemon event,
where
yeah.
it doesn't come out till September. I mean, that's reasonable.
Well, hold
I
on.
also
They
think
just need to let people know about it so they can announce the games.
I need to ask you guys this, right? Because my belief is once we get like a blowout of this, 6 months is too long of a wait. I think it's 3 to 4 at most once we get a full blowout, right? But some of you guys are talking about seeing the system come out in September, but us seeing it in March. And so to me, that's too long of a window, depending on what you mean by us seeing it in March. Is us seeing it in March like just a codename announcement?
It's,
No.
Or is it a
I don't think they're
trailer?
announcing code names this time. I don't think we wouldn't have actually known the code name for Switch if it wasn't for a Dena thing. I don't think they're gonna even announce a code name this time.
JT, what did you say? I didn't hear you.
I said, they'll show us the Metroid Prime 4 logo screen again. That'll be the Switch 2 reveal.
No, do not. You can't do that to me again.
Now in development for Switch 2.
Now in development for Switch 2 and then the logo. No, you can't do that to me.
No, but I think you're onto something, Andres. I think you're right. It's too long of a wait. If it's ready to go,
Awesome.
Am I the only one that lost connection?
No. I think he's the one that
I thought
lost
he
connection.
was just
Wait, what
pausing
happened?
for effect. Maybe he's still
Yeah.
in.
I'm pretty sure he was
He's
about to.
building the drama. He's building the
What
He
did
was
drama.
about to say
I'ma
something
keep it
really
real.
good.
I know he was.
My brain disconnected. What happened? What are we doing?
No.
Well, JT was about to
Okay.
say something really cool, and then
Like
the Nintendo
profound.
Ninjas disconnected him.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
man, maybe he's
He was
onto
about
something.
to reveal the
Yeah.
date. He was about to reveal the date.
Wow.
Man,
I'm
we'll see. We'll see if
Tomorrow we wake up
if the
and his
ninjas give
channel's
him his
just
internet
not there
back. We'll see
anymore.
what happens. Yeah, God.
His whole YouTube channel is just gone.
Anyways, so how we feeling? Like we talked a little bit about like when we think this is going to be like announced and maybe come out. Like, what do they need to do to impress us?
I mean, just
Or
hit it
you
with
individually.
it really doesn't have to be that. I mean, again, just what do you mean impress? Like for the reveal itself, or like just like the system
All
in
of the
general?
above. Just
All the above. Okay, for the reveal, I mean, just honestly, just give us a direct and let it be. It's one more thing. Like that's all it needs. It's that simple. It genuinely is just that.
No. It
This
can't
is
be
our
the
one more thing.
It can't be the one more thing because you got to have Switch 2 games in the direct. and you can't show the Switch 2 games before we know what a Switch 2 is. So it
You
can't
can
be
do
the
a
one
reel
more thing.
afterwards.
It's
I
got to
think
be
you
the
could
open.
do. I think you could do.
It could be its own.
I think you
direct.
could reveal.
I don't
these-
think it
okay,
would even be
here's
in
the
a
thing. Here's the
direct.
thing. Here's the thing. No. This is what they do. They reveal games, and then they say they do the Breath of the Wild approach, and they're like, "Oh, they're on both. It's on both consoles."
Nah.
I don't know. I
Everything?
feel like they could do that.
But I think they got to have some exclusives.
Well,
Like,
yeah.
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
I'm not
Well, I
feeling
think what happens is we get in. Well, I mean, okay, in March, right? They give us the Switch as the one more thing, and obviously nobody's going like. There's no, and if they're going to release that, if the actual console releases,
Dude,
in
you do
September,
that, you're
nobody's
effectively telling everyone you don't have to give a fuck about anything we just showed you game wise. Now,
Yeah.
now all everyone's gonna care about is what
Especially,
games are on.
and also if you don't show the games for the Switch 2, you're not giving us reason to be hyped for the Switch to be on the system.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so I think the best way to show off the Switch 2 is the way to show off the Switch 1. Give us like a trailer that shows several games. We're like, what? Like, take yourself back to 2016, October. When you saw this amazing looking 3D Mario that you would never expect anything like on Wii U, right? That was there, but we just didn't know what it was. We saw Elder Scrolls, which, putting this into perspective, Elder Scrolls or anything from Bethesda, we would never imagine our wildest dreams would be on a Nintendo system. Yet they showed this portable system playing Skyrim. Like, so those are things that like would kind of blow people away, right? Or even seeing Breath of the Wild, an open world Zelda, the most ambitious Nintendo game ever, on a handheld system, still playing it as if it's a console, but portably at the same time. Like, so those are crazy things. So if you just show off a new system without kind of showing the games, I think that would be kind of like Nintendo regressing. I would like to think Nintendo learned and that it really ultimately comes down to the games, right? And so they gotta come and show us what this system can do, not just hypotheticals. I think that's very like 2006, 2005.
I think this might be why they saved Metroid Prime 4 for the Switch 2 reveal.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe.
I think,
yeah, it's still got to be on Switch.
Well, here's
but
what you could do. I think it could be a bundled like one more thing. Like, oh, here's Metroid Prime 4, but this only runs on our new console. I don't know. I just think
That would
that'd be
probably.
really cool.
I think I talked
You
about
could
that.
get away with that, I think, but
that would be
yeah,
so
I don't know.
no.
That would piss off so many people. It's not even funny.
Really?
What if
That's
they
not
called
happening.
the Nintendo Switch 2 the Nintendo Switch Prime?
I think Nintendo is going to give us a warning ahead of time. I think they're going to let us know that, hey, tune in on blah, blah, blah day to see the future of Nintendo's next generation hardware.
Yeah,
I think they're going to let us know, unlike other directs and everything else, whatever they reveal this,
Well,
they're going to let us know ahead of time.
By the
Yes,
way,
exactly
bad
what they
news.
did with the Switch.
So
Yeah.
the thing is interesting. It's interesting you bring up Metroid Prime 4 though, because Metroid Prime 4 had its infamous delay announcement in January. So in a few weeks, we're going to have that 5-year anniversary.
Absolutely.
And January is actually a good time for Nintendo to tell us bad news because it's a few weeks before February or March will actually give us the meat of like what's to come. And so if Metroid Prime 4 is not going to come to Switch, which I strongly disagree with, it's definitely coming to Switch in my opinion.
Yeah, it's coming to Switch.
But let's hypothetically, if it's not, right? I think they would make that announcement before they announce Switch 2. Like they'll say, "Hey, this is moving on to the next thing." Like they'll
Oh, if they
my-
said that, then they'd open the door saying, then everyone would just move their thoughts to, okay,
Well-
Switch 2 coming out. And if they do that, they need to talk about Switch 2
So
immediately.
you
They
know
can't
what?
just
You're
go-
right. You're right. So I agree. I changed my mind. That's better. That's it.
Wait,
I didn't,
Jeff,
I didn't
what were
think
you
through.
saying before you got cut off?
Oh, my computer overheated. Sorry about that.
Oh, right. You were gonna say something that was like,
Yeah, he was
it
about to
felt-
drop
it
He was
felt like you were
revealing
gonna
the
spit
release
some
date of
fire.
Switch 2. That's what I thought it was.
Yeah.
Nintendo cut me off. No, I was saying that I agree with you, Andres, about the time frame. You can't have like a 6-month gap. So if they are going to have the official announcement of the Nintendo Switch 2 saying, here it is, I would imagine either during that presentation or very shortly after, like 2 weeks after, they'd have the game reveals. And then they would say, okay, here's the marketing push for all this stuff, and it will be available coming next month or the month after that. It can't be much further. So now I want to readjust my thought process. I said March and then September. I think it might be March and then May, like, or even February and then April. I really do think it's coming sooner than later. They have nothing. There are no games. There's nothing to talk about for them.
Nothing to be
No.
like
You can't
super
go half a
excited
year
for.
with nothing.
Yeah.
Entering a
Um,
year where you don't know about at least like one massive game to look forward to, right, is very strange. That's why they have to have something coming hitting early.
And,
Yeah.
and the other thing is, as soon as they announce the new thing, hardware sales for the Switch will plummet.
Mhm.
And they want it makes sense to make that time period as
I think
small
that
as
all
possible.
depends.
I want to
Because
go
It
back to
also makes
something.
sense to have that time period be where it's already the lowest hardware sales of the year, which is the
Sure.
beginning of the year.
Which is
Calendar.
always the beginning. Yeah.
Can I
Yeah.
get your opinion on this? Will Metroid Prime 4 be a launch title for the Switch 2?
No.
If it's coming out in May, yes. If it's not, if
Yeah.
it's coming, yeah. If
No.
it's that early, yeah. But like I said, I think 3D Mario is being saved for the holiday. So if the Switch 2 is coming out, say September or October, that I think is reserved for 3D Mario, right? But if the Switch 2 if we're looking at a scenario where it comes out a bit earlier, I can see Prime 4 coming out a few months before 3D Mario. There would be something else on top of that, and also I know a lot of people disagree
Luigi's
with this.
Dungeon, Luigi's Castle.
We, yeah, obviously, I'm one of those people that
Luigi is
completely
missing.
disagrees. They are not launching hardware with a Metroid. That's not no.
I know most people don't
Why?
agree with
series
that.
I
is-
would
Here's
say.
the thing.
All right,
Hold on,
here's
hold
why.
on.
Here's why.
Hey, no,
It's
no.
simple.
Hold on. They launched a hardware with Zelda.
Zelda.
They launched the
traditionally-
hardware with Luigi.
Time out. A bad selling Zelda game, it would be the best selling Metroid of all time.
So
Yeah.
Metroid's number one game is sold just barely over 3 million units. You're not launching hardware with a game that has low demand. And I want Metroid to be a game that blows up. But again, they've never, you don't launch with a game that doesn't have that sort of demand. It's Mario.
It's on the
Yeah.
rise, though.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I think Nate's saying the next Metroid Prime 4 has the potential to be a 20 million seller if they do it right, if it's like amazing. But they don't want the launch game to be
It's got to be a
something that
guaranteed
isn't
IP.
proven with sales. You know what I mean?
So,
Like,
Mario
well, I
Odyssey
mean,
2?
I would say it is proven, but it just what
With
is
3
enough
million
for you?
sales?
I mean, 3 million. I think you guys are really underestimating how good 3 million is, right? Didn't like
Yes,
like
but
Sony
they
would
want-
love some
they
of their
wanna
games to
release
sell
something
3
that's
million.
guaranteed 10 million.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
You
want to
think-
launch with a game that's going to sell systems for years.
So if that's the case, do you think they're already currently working on a major Nintendo Mario title right now that is ready?
They've been
for
working on a
launch?
major
bet-
Mario
I-
title the last 6 years.
I bet that game's almost done.
Yeah,
And
they-
it's not being
Odyssey
talked
came out.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, I would be
You,
surprised.
you
if
think
it's
this
not
entire
dropped
time with
next
Tears
year.
of the Kingdom, they weren't working on a 3D Mario, but they
So,
were working on a 3D Zelda?
I just want to take a moment to go back to something I was saying earlier. I'll come back to this because I wanted to like readjust my thinking. If Metro Prime 4 hypothetically, right, is going to be only for Switch 2, which I don't believe, I think the point I ultimately want to make is that Nintendo likes to put out the bad news separately from the good stuff, so it doesn't like
I wonder.
ruin the announcement. So
Oh.
what would happen is they announce Switch 2, Metro Prime 4 is not a part of the announcement at all. There's an interview that surfaces within a few weeks where they say, oh yeah, this has been moved on to, this system. And then later down the road, they showcase Prime 4 for a new system. I don't think that's going to happen, but that's how I would see Nintendo handling kind of dealing with the storm of negativity.
I don't think
Is
they'd
Princess
worry
Peach
about the
a
storm of
$50 game?
negativity.
I just want to know that real quick. Is Princess Peach a $50 game?
I think
That's
it's
a
60,
$50
isn't it?
game.
Or is
Yeah,
it
it's going to be a
50?
60. I'd be
60,
surprised.
okay.
They're
All
gonna
right, that's all
charge
I wanna know.
60.
Thank you.
Yep,
Yeah, they're gonna
it's
charge
60.
60.
I have it up right here. It's 60.
They charge
Yeah.
they charge that for sports games. They're gonna charge that for Princess Peach.
Yeah.
The interesting thing to me though, thinking
Okay.
about the Metro, like you're talking about how like Nintendo, because obviously they did something they rarely do. They did an announcement about a delay in a developer change, what they've really only ever done for Zelda in the past. What I do think is interesting is I don't know that they're going to worry about backlash if they decided to move to Switch 2, because I think the real reason would be piracy. Like, we don't want this game out there early. And so I think for them, it would be people will forgive us when we are that confident in what this game is and we show it and people's jaws drop. And they
Okay,
go, of
someone
course,
said it
that's
in the
Switch
chat.
2.
We just got
But-
the last DLC out, Mario Kart 10 launch.
And I don't understand. You're going to love this whole
True.
frustrating thing, but the hardcore Metroid fan base isn't very large compared to Nintendo's
I
other
understand what you're
IPs.
saying, but the point you just made, right? Like, if Nintendo has so much confidence in Metroid Prime 4, it's
Yeah,
going
but
to be
they
a
still
big
won't do it a
deal.
launch game. They'll do it 3 months after launch. It'd be the next big game after.
And
launch.
just for the record, I think 3D Mario is the most likely launch title. I'm just
Plus,
not
we
going
actually
to
have a real report on it as well from somebody. Andy Robinson put it out there.
Well, it wasn't a report. It was mentioned in a podcast.
It was mentioned in a podcast that he had
That multiple
two
people
sources. Yeah,
had-
two
yes,
sources have told him.
right.
that it's the
But
launch
it's not a report, so that my only point with that is it's not as concrete. It's a little bit more shaky, and so I think that does open the door to speculation of what if it's not 3D Mario. I agree,
Mario
3D
Kart.
Mario is the most likely. I think we gotta wait till 2025 for Mario Kart.
I don't know.
Think
What is the top
I don't know.
selling game for Nintendo Switch? Is it Mario
Mario
Kart?
Kart.
it's Mario Kart.
Mario
Mario
Kart.
Kart.
It's not
Well,
even
if
by
that's-
R.
If that's the case, there's a case to be made to make the next Mario Kart be the launch title to guarantee.
It could be. We don't know.
I think it could be, but I also think there's more to it than just sales, right? Because there are games that sell systems, and there are games that sell when they're on systems that are already sold.
True.
But here's the thing that we say that Mario Kart 8 Deluxe came out. That was the slot I'm talking about for Metroid. That was the 3 months after launch. Mario Kart 8
No,
Deluxe.
Mario
dropped.
Kart came out in April.
Yeah, we know about the Wii U, but the setting the Wii U aside is the Wii U
No,
bottom.
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe came out in April.
And when exactly did Switch launch? March. So it was the very next big game.
Yeah, a month afterwards. Not 3.
Yeah, so we can't say that didn't affect sales and didn't help the system blow up when it literally sold to half the audience that owns the Switch.
I mean, it's definitely important.
I would argue it's the most important game that's
I
coming
got
out
it.
on
I
Switch.
got it. The Switch 2 launch title is going to be
Well,
Wii Bowling 2.
Maybe second most important. I
I mean-
guess Breath of the Wild was probably a big deal for the actual launch of the system.
We would have to pull up numbers of of these systems and look at 20. We would have to look at 2017 sales and look at these games when they came out. And the other problem is though that Switch also has to meet demands, right? So it's a little hard to kind of gauge how much the games were impacting sales when people were just going to buy a Switch regardless.
And
Yeah.
Andres, you make a good point. This day and age, this era that we live in, you don't even need to have a game for the console to sell out. Like the console will sell out no matter what. You won't be able to produce enough of it immediately. But what you have to worry about is the long term, 6 months out. What's the future prospects of it going to look like? And you're going to have games by then for it.
Yeah. And so it's interesting you bring that up, right? Because you look at Nintendo 3DS, which I would say Nintendo had a very weak launch for. They had Steel Diver, and
I mean,
Capcom.
how about N64? Same thing. Like
They had Pilot Wings of Mario 64.
Yeah, that's a pretty weak launch. Great game,
Well-
one of the greatest games of all time, but 2 games.
Well, I mean, you could argue that
Pretty Mario.
by that
Yeah.
metric, though, the Switch had a bad launch because they launched with Breath of the Wild and snipper clips.
Good point.
Yes,
But I guess the point I
yes.
want to make
Dude,
is
I
that
remember
I
Breath
don't
of the
think you need-
Wild outsold Switch hardware for like the first
Right.
month.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was
You
crazy.
mean Wii U hardware?
no,
Or
No,
both.
oh wait, what? How is that even?
There are more Breath
people
of the Wild
bought Breath of the Wild without buying a Switch.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so funny.
There were more copies
Yeah.
sold at launch than Switches available.
Well, exactly. So people were just excited for Zelda, so they bought their game waiting for when the Switch would be ready.
You know,
Oh yeah,
I'm
because wasn't
looking
there
at
like a
sales-
shortage as
I'm
well, like for the beginning of the Switch life? There was a little bit.
There's
of
a shortage at the launch of every.
I'm looking
Yeah.
at the
Even
sales
Wii U
chart.
sold out.
It's
day
par
one.
for the course.
Yeah, true.
Dude,
I'm
people
looking
were
at the sales
were
chart
selling
right
Nintendo classics for more than the Switch on the Switch.
What'd you
launch.
say, JT?
That was crazy back then. Yeah.
Looking
Yeah.
at the sales charts right now for the top selling Switch games of all time, and this is mind blowing. Do you know what the number 11 best selling Switch game of all time is?
Not a
Number
problem.
11.
Ring Fit Adventure.
Had
Oh,
those
yeah.
legs.
I knew
Had
it
those
was
yeah,
legs.
yeah.
dude. Yeah.
Why is that wild though? They've had
It's
workout
wild
games doing well for multiple
because-
gens now.
I think that's the kind of thing that provides insight where Nintendo thinks very differently than most game companies. And we're all talking about these obvious things this whole time. And I'm like, well, Wii Bowling was something no one could have ever predicted. And that literally launched the Wii. And we're talking about, oh, Mario needs to be the launch title. It can't be, this Zelda.
And
can
we
be-
launched with Twilight Princess too. They didn't just launch.
Yeah, but
with
most people were buying it because of Wii Bowling. You could get Twilight Princess on the GameCube.
Yeah, the
I'm
Wii
saying-
was a weird situation.
Yeah,
But
the
I'm
Wii
saying
was
the
the
Switch
Wii
2
was a stated blue ocean strategy.
No,
they,
hey,
they didn't do that.
The
this
Wii
time.
had a fantastic launch. They
It
one of
did.
the best
It did
launch
so.
lineups ever because it was. I remember
Yeah.
Twilight Princess, Excite Truck, we need more Nintendo racing games. And Wii Sports. Like in terms of like that's a strong like Nintendo starting lineup.
Yeah.
Like those 3 games, those are all classics. Like
Not to
that's
be that
crazy.
Not to be that guy, but give me Nintendo Land 2 at launch.
Yes. No,
I want
you're not the only guy in the room. I'm also that
Honestly,
guy.
yeah, honestly, if you could somehow, either give us probably just a sequel because so many of the Nintendo Land mini games were
Call
from.
it Nintendo World.
Dude, that was actually like that
Here
was
we go.
genuinely such a fun thing, and then make the online better. So you could play. Oh my god, that would bang. That would be such a banger.
Super Nintendo World, the game.
That shit would
it's
fuck.
so
That
good.
shit would fuck hard.
It's gonna happen. Because we're so focused on the obvious, and Nintendo doesn't do the obvious. So think.
But they
more-
have. Every single system is launched with an obvious besides GameCube that launched with Luigi's Mansion.
Wait, is Steel Diver obvious?
Okay, 3D. I'm not talking about the handhelds and the 3DS. The 3DS obviously had like no launch
Some
game.
could argue
really.
the Switch is a handheld.
Well,
But Nintendo calls it a home console. Look at the history of their home console launches.
Nintendo DS launched with Super Mario 64 DS.
Yeah,
and also the demo of Metroid.
The
Hunters.
DS launched with that. It didn't launch with that, did it? It launched with New Super Mario Bros. I thought.
No.
What?
I don't know. It was Mario.
I'm not the one
64.
debated it, so I don't know.
You're
Yeah, I
talking
think it was
Wii U.
Mario 64,
I thought
think.
I would felt like that was like a mid. What? That's
No.
crazy. I want to look this up now. That's actually I just for my own like.
No,
I
see,
didn't know.
I see like in the chat, like Wilberforce Switzer says, so throwing out half the launches. No, because Nintendo calls it a home console. So since they call it a home console, they've always launched their home consoles with a
So,
big known IP.
just to-
Besides
to-
Yeah, like
GameCube.
Luigi's
Give
Mansion on the
extreme
GameCube.
I said
clarity.
besides GameCube, and GameCube failed so bad they literally shifted
Super
the entire
Mario
direction of the
64
company.
DS.
What did the
launched
3DS launch with?
November 20. The super. No,
Home
I just want to
console.
clarify
Okay,
in this.
So we're
Yeah,
moving all the
Nintendo-
goalposts. I got
Okay,
it.
yes,
I got
yes.
it.
The
Okay, Jake,
Nintendo
Jake,
DS
Jake.
launched with Mario 64
I'm
DS
just
November
fucking with you.
21st,
I know.
2004, which is the
So it did.
day that
Okay.
Nintendo DS
But
came
to
out.
throw
Wow.
out, the 3DS
Amazing.
didn't launch with one of those games, and it's the worst selling handheld system of all time for Nintendo.
Yeah, and
The
then the
worst
Wii U launched
selling.
with Wii U launched with the. So hold on a second. A point I want to make. You look at Wii U, right? If you just look at it from a numbers perspective, they put a 2D Mario to launch the system, and so some people might think, "Oh, that game sold a lot. That makes a lot of sense." Except, no, 2D Mario is a bad game to launch a system. It does
you
not
can't
showcase.
You
the
can't do
system.
that anymore. Yeah.
So going back to the Mario Kart thing, well, now Mario Kart's a little bit of a different beast, right? Because Mario Kart's still hype even for the core fan base. But I just want to make the point that sales is not the only factor when it comes to thinking about the ideal launch title. You want
It's
to
gotta be something that
showcase the
makes you,
system.
yeah, it's got to make you
Well,
feel like
the
you
Switch
need the
2
system for it.
Like
Exactly.
Jake was saying earlier, Nintendo always launches with some sort of gimmick, and the gimmick is what they use to help expose what the system can
Dude,
do.
I'm
Look at the
telling you.
functionality. So
So
Wii
Metro
Bowl-
Prime
hold
4
on,
showcase
real quick.
4K Switch 2, right?
Yeah, well, Wii Bowling showcased the Wiimote.
Sure.
Nintendo Land showcased how the Wii U tablet could work. So we don't even know what the Switch 2 is gonna.
I know. It has the pop-out screen, so you can do 2 players on their own screen.
Going
launches
back
with
there. There it is
Mario
again.
Kart 10. It launches
He's
with
so
Mario
back.
Kart 10 to take advantage of that.
Comes with a flux capacitor to charge it.
Or it comes out with Ocarina of Time remake, and there's a co-op mode with Sheik.
Yes. Now we're
Wow.
talking. Actually, Ocarina of Time remake is like the one remake that I feel like could be a launch title.
I mean, Mario 64 DS.
You're doing great, Nate. You're doing great.
Nintendo's done it before.
They've done it before. They have.
I don't
gotta
think
give
that's
Nate
what they're gonna
props. I gotta
do.
give Nate props. He's letting us do it.
But I mean, actually, let's entertain the idea for a moment, right? Just for a moment. If Switch 2 is coming out, say sometime between May and September, right? And they're gonna save 3D Mario for the holidays. Like, this is obviously a hypothetical. What do they launch the system with? And if you don't think it can be Metroid Prime 4 and Mario Kart's 2025, what do they launch the system with?
I mean,
a Nintendo
Mario.
Land 2.
Hell
Well,
yeah.
that would be bad. If that's the only game, that would be bad.
And Metroid Prime 4.
All right, let's Nate. Let's
No,
let
we're going
Nate
back
get-
to it doesn't matter how
something in
bad
before
it
he blows up.
well, hold on. It doesn't matter how bad it is initially, because we all agree it will sell out even if it doesn't have any
So,
games. It will
and
sell
Yeah,
that's-
I mean, look
I-
at the PlayStation Portal. Even that thing like is selling
Right.
out,
right.
and that
Right.
it has nothing really to
So-
offer on its own.
And actually, to that point, this is me making the case for Prime 4, right? it's going. JT, you're helping out. You're helping me out here with this kind of with this debate. While I do think 3D Mario obviously is the most safest, most likely, most oomph of a game to launch a system, if they're already counting for the fact that they want to save this for the holiday and they want to build up an install base to really maximize 3D Mario sales for when it is ready, and if they already expect that it's going to be tough to meet demand immediately anyways, as it is for most systems, maybe you start off with Metroid Prime 4 and Nintendo Land 2. Then next month, it's something else.
No, because here's the thing. The safe thing about launching with a Mario is that it's going to sell all the time. No matter how many years into the Switch, people are going to buy that game. Metroid Prime 4, you got to make sure your install base is at its highest because, yeah, maybe it will be an evergreen seller and go through the system, but it's not guaranteed. So
it will be at first.
You want to put it in the best position possible because you want it to be another franchise that hits those levels. So you want to set it up right this gen, I think.
Sure.
You're right.
I mean, again, this guy, as I said initially, I think 3D Mario is the most likely launch title.
Well, hold on, Jake, to your point about Metroid Prime 4, what happens if it's a launch title for the Switch 2 and at the same time comes out on the same day for the Switch?
Well, that's what happened with Breath of the Wild, right?
Right. So does
there's a big difference,
that nullify your concern about
what if we're all right? Have we considered the fact that Metroid and Mario could both be launch games?
I think.
Yeah, I've been thinking about it.
But see, Mario could be like their Wii Sports, that big title that everyone wants to buy, and then Metroid's the hardcore to get like the sub base, like the Twilight Princess.
What would you do if there was a Mario?
And if it's a cross-gen game, it's still going to sell like gangbusters on Switch.
I'm gonna now mute my mic and start screaming obscenities.
So I think you could be right. I think you could be right about it being on both at launch because one thing Nintendo doesn't want to do, and they were very careful about this with Breath, even though the Wii U only sold 13 million, right? They made sure they kept their promise and brought Breath of the Wild to the Wii U. Yep. So a system with over 100, going on 150 million hardware units, they're not going to want to break that promise. So I think it is very possible it'll come to both. I think it would be, I think it would be fine if it didn't, but I think Nintendo just doesn't want to do that so badly. You know what I mean? Like, okay, we made a promise. We want to, even though they lie about when stuff is coming out all the time, but whatever. But I do think that's possible. And it does it nullifies it a little bit in the sense that, okay, you're releasing on the hardware with all the install base there and the new hardware. And if you did that in conjunction with like a Mario that's an exclusive to the new hardware, that might work, especially if Metroid Prime 4 on the new hardware has like a little bit of a higher locked FPS or something. Maybe better graphics because of the what's the thing? DLSS, whatever.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that honestly might be the most likely scenario just because I think it is important to Nintendo to keep their promise of bringing that game to Switch.
And in addition to that, they could have the launch. This is dreaming now, but just stay with me. They have a Mario Odyssey 2, we'll just say, Metroid Prime 4, and Ocarina of Time remake. All three of those launch with the Switch 2. And they call it the Triforce reveal.
That would be crazy. One thing Nintendo's been very careful about is not cannibalizing their own sales from their own sales. They've spaced out games. They've had games ready that they wait on.
Yeah,
true. Space them out. I can see too, but 3 ones like that, especially, you know what I mean, when they're trying to have a big release every 3 months is kind of what they're doing.
Yeah,
I think they could do it. It's Nintendo. No one can predict them, so that could happen.
I mean, that's the thing with Nintendo is like, I think they've gotten a lot better, especially after the big pandemic and all that. They've gotten better at like backlogging their games in terms, what did we say? What did they say? The Tears of the Kingdom was like done for however long, and they were just polishing it and sitting on it. Like, I feel like they do that a lot now.
Dude, Fire Emblem Engage, remember that leaked out like a year? They said it's done. It came out like a year later.
Yeah, exactly. Like I think they're very good at I don't know, they're doing a lot better, I should say, about being, reserved with their games and all that jazz. So Yeah.
So
Well,
you
just
kind of
heads
talked
up,
me out of the.
I can't stay too much longer. I got like 10 minutes left. Just to
You're good.
Honestly,
You're good, man.
another one that would be huge for launch that would do guaranteed sales. Although I think it would make more sense for us to come out later in the life cycle because of the type of gamer it appeals to. It would be Animal Crossing.
That's
True.
so much work, though. That's
Yeah.
so much work. And I mean, you remember
Yeah.
how much work they put into New Horizons? Like, could you imagine starting
Yeah, it's
over?
only been 3 years.
New
right?
Horizons Deluxe.
Yeah, no,
I
they're
mean-
gonna wait. They're gonna wait until there's a
I think,
large
dude,
audience.
honestly, as big as New Horizons was, I think everyone that loved that game would not want to buy a deluxe. I think everyone that played that game to death is good with it.
Yeah, I think so too. Like
Although
actually.
it's the second best-selling game with 43 million copies.
That's
I won't
crazy.
lie. I while I think Animal Crossing is a beautiful, fantastic game, I definitely think COVID had a contributing
yeah.
factor
Yeah,
to the
yeah.
amount of copies that sold.
How many millions of copies of Animal Crossing do you think sold to people who just bought that in a Switch because they saw it somewhere and was never played more than a couple hours?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure
20 million.
Yeah, millions for sure.
Right. I mean,
But
I have an idea
anyways.
that nobody's even touched on.
Let's
with
go,
a
Eric.
Possible release game. And it
Eric
kinda
is like
touches back
Silent Bob, who at the end of the movie just spits out knowledge.
I'm confused. How is Eric talking with a muted mic right now?
Oh,
Yeah, that's not. Yeah.
because we're on two separate.
They're using the same computer.
Hey,
Yeah,
don't fucking
yeah.
ask questions.
Yeah, you
Okay.
realize that it does. Oh,
Yeah.
in case you didn't know, Smash, it doesn't show muted publicly.
Yeah, that too.
So like,
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
that's only
But,
behind the
yeah.
scenes. You're letting the people know too much.
Right.
My bad. My bad.
No, you're good. You're good. Okay, so a Zelda release game, but it's touching back on a Zelda playable game. You play through Tears of the Kingdom Zelda in the past, leading up to the point of where she turns into the dragon and brings the Master Sword to Link.
So you mean like a Miles Morales, but for Tears of the Kingdom?
Sure, I don't know. I
He,
haven't played
he
it.
didn't play Miles Morales. He doesn't know.
Well, it's
Um,
just it's based off a bigger game that came out shortly beforehand.
I don't
But
think
it's-
so. Well,
like
the
a
reason I think no one
cool
said
thing.
that because the interview said they're not going back to this world,
Mhm.
and that would be going back to it.
Yeah,
but
for
that
an actual Zelda game,
It's Nintendo.
We're talking
It's
about-
Nintendo.
like a
Nintendo.
spin-off.
a spin-off, but it
Yeah.
would. I mean, it's still to be done by the main Zelda team.
It would
Yeah.
still be Zelda. I don't know. I get it. It would be
Yeah.
cool, but they would after
I-
all
I-
the multiple interviews where they've told us that they are not that they're done with it. It would just.
I
if it's
would
like-
think it's more likely
for a mainline
an
game.
Ocarina of Time from the Ground remake at launch. I think would be more likely than that.
Yeah.
with playable.
Well,
shit.
didn't the Ocarina
A
of Time,
playable Sheik. There you go.
didn't Ocarina of Time remake like already leak multiple times that it's definitely being worked on right now?
Oh, is it?
I
think
would
so,
say
yeah.
rumor more than leak.
Very heavily rumored though. Like it's all but confirmed from what
I
I've-
call it a theory.
Okay. Theory.
Because
Yeah,
I
I
think
wouldn't.
there's a
I
lot of-
wouldn't say that like it was like a first. Like we haven't had anyone that has a sterling reputation put their name behind it.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you're talking about like something made from a couple of years ago, if you can point out a source, we'd love to see it. But the more recent stuff,
There's been a
I
lot
mean-
of discourse. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's why I call it a theory, right? Because you look at the interviews, there's a trademark. You just look at history. Like I think it makes sense. It's why I'm predicting it, and that's why I call it a theory. But there are also some rumors surrounding it. But as Nate said, nothing from someone that we would say a sterling record.
well, it's
Although
been
Zippo
it's
apparently got taken out.
It's
So-
been 2 months. It's been 2 months since I made this video, and I've made a lot of videos in between, so I don't really
Sure.
remember exactly what I said in it. But there is a Zelda remaster on the way, and it's been like from a legitimate source. We just don't know which Zelda remaster is happening.
Are you
That's
Well,
talking
they'll
about Dr. Sircon Toto?
I'd be
And
very surprised.
yes, that's where it came from Toto. Yeah.
So it's the thing about that is that we've interpreted Zelda remake because it's what ZR 2023, but
Yes.
shortly after that he tweeted that we got the news of the Zelda movie. So there's a lot of conversation that it was
The
just, it
movie's
just
not
stood for
coming
Zelda
out in
reveal.
2023.
No, Zelda. It was ZR as in
ZR Zelda
reveal.
Reveal 2023.
Right.
Is what
Not
ZR probably
necessarily
meant.
Zelda remake 2023.
That's
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but here's the thing: there's going to be remakes and remasters because they've been doing it this entire time, the whole
Yeah.
Switch gen. So like
Especially for that
we're going to
franchise,
get
yeah.
more. It's
I'm
not,
gonna start calling
it's not
Andres
crazy to
Steam
go out there and be
Press.
like, we're going to get Zelda remakes and remasters. Like, well, yeah, of course we are. That's like saying like, oh, they'll never re-release old Mario games again. Yeah, they will. They're going to do it.
Yeah. Why would they stop?
Yeah, it's selling.
Yeah.
They're going to keep doing it.
Okay, I got it. Super Mario Brothers remake.
The remake of the remake.
That's it.
There
That's
it
it.
is.
Yeah. I don't know. I think some good points have been brought up that are kind of making me reconsider how they're going to handle things because, like, you guys talked about Prime 4 and 3D Mario coming at the same time. I don't think that could happen. I understand from the perspective of if Prime 4 comes out for both, then, for both Switch and Switch 2, maybe it
I
makes
just
a
think
little
it
more
hits on
sense.
different audiences.
I don't think you're right a lot about this. That was poorly phrased.
That was eloquently
I
worded.
think
I'm
get
pretty
what you're
sure
saying.
Andres has an IQ of 200, but that was not the best.
No,
Andres.
that was IQ negative 16.
Old.
It was bad.
We'll blame the cold medicine for that one.
Yeah.
The cough
I-
drops.
Oh,
are
that's,
doing it.
that's honestly so fair.
I've ingested 3
I
different
forgot you were
substances.
sick, dude.
I took
Substances.
like,
Whoa.
Yeah,
Whoa.
whoa.
Now.
I drank a whole bunch of Pedialyte. I've taken multiple cough
Good.
drops and I've put in
That
some
is very
Advil.
good.
But and what I wanted to say, because that sounded like really like insulting, and that's not what I was trying to say at all. I don't agree with this point. I think that there's a lot of like I'm a Metroid fan and I'm a 3D Mario fan. We're talking about the big single player kind of adventure Nintendo games. And so like throughout the generations, like the 3 franchises that have been heralded as like Nintendo's big single player adventures have been Zelda, Mario, Metroid. Like this all started back on the NES. And so there is obviously there's not complete crossover because Metroid would have a lot more sales then. But there is significant crossover. A lot of Metroid fans are also 3D Mario fans, and I just don't think it's healthy for them to come out on the same day. Maybe divided by a month. And the Metroid Prime 4 does have multiplayer. I think it could be a fantastic launch window game. Like totally. And it would really definitely separate itself from Mario. Like it would be a very fresh experience. But I just don't see a day one thing. Like maybe Nintendo Land, right? Like a party game, sure, right? Or sports game, sure. But not 2 single player adventures. Like I don't even like let's talk Xenoblade or Fire Emblem. I don't think Nintendo would put out a 3D Mario on the same day as a big Fire Emblem or Xenoblade game. And those are more they're they're RPGs, but I think you get my point. There's still like these big adventures. There's too much crossover there for the core Nintendo fan base for it to make sense.
It's true. I guess the only retort I'd have for that is if they're concerned, which Nintendo never is, but playing devil's advocate, if they're concerned about Microsoft and Sony and they want to make a major impact with their launch, that would be the only counter to that.
Yeah.
But I tend to agree with you, though.
I mean, the other problem is that we agree they're going to sell out systems, right? So, like, what's the point of putting out 2 games at the same time when they're going to sell out systems regardless?
Right.
Because what they really care about is selling software.
Sure, but you're not going to sell that much software at the beginning.
You're not making money on the systems.
You got to keep it going. Like they're going to lose software sales by having them come on the same day.
But
that's what I was saying is they don't want to compete with each other. But I mean, Nate, it sounded like you kind of agreed that like they could be definitely hitting. There's people that will want to buy both that maybe will only buy one if they come out. Sure. But they are hitting different audiences. Mario is definitely like a mass appeal. Like everyone that plays a Nintendo system knows Mario and probably wants to play Mario. And Metroid Prime is currently more niche, but it is on the rise. And this next Metroid could have the Breath of the Wild effect. It could have the Animal Crossing effect, where it blows it up for them because it's that
Yeah.
high quality a game.
But
And
those
that's why-
games
that's why I
still
want
got
it so
their
bad.
those games still got their own like release month, right? Like they were the big focus for Nintendo for at least a month. Metroid needs to get that big focus. Whenever it does come, it needs to get that big focus.
Yeah.
They need to give it its best chance.
But I still feel like it makes sense for it to come to launch if it's going to be on the previous Switch, which maybe they do go back on it. Maybe I'm just basing all my assumptions on something that they don't mind.
But
like, going
Jake,
back on it.
I think you made a good point though. You actually talked me out of thinking Prime 4 can be a launch title because I think it is coming to Switch, and I just don't see a scenario where Metroid Prime 4 is the launch title while also coming to Switch as well. Because I
Yeah,
think
'cause they would never do that with like Breath of the Wild, right?
there's
Or
a big
Twilight
difference.
Princess.
It's a big difference.
No,
though,
no,
because-
you're right. It is a big. I'm just messing with you. but
because
yeah.
GameCube and Wii U are the worst performing home consoles ever. The Switch is
Yeah.
the best performing home console ever.
You have
So
to consider, Andre,
But look at the Wii because they had Twilight Princess and Switch Sports, and Twilight Princess was both.
was what?
Was GameCube and Wii.
Right. It was. But GameCube was like it's
Yeah.
GameCube.
Yeah,
Met-
you're right. You're right.
Metroid Prime 4 has to come out for Switch 2, though. Are we agreeing on that?
I agree.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
it needs to. I would be shocked if they don't have a like. There's no like. We don't have any hard evidence like telling us that it is. It's just like pure like
So-
common sense. I
so-
think.
So your logic, what's your logic that they can do cross gen with it at launch?
Are you telling me?
So
No,
my
Andres,
my logic is that if you can play it on Switch, why buy Switch 2? Like you want to get people to buy Switch 2. So
But can you say the same thing about
That same argument
Wii U?
exists for every cross gen game. It doesn't matter when you release it. Why would you buy
Yeah.
Switch 2 if it's cross gen ever?
well, I just think that if we're talking about day one, you want to put something out on Switch 2.
Well, that's
people
why I
can't
said
get
it
elsewhere.
could be with Mario. You just have both.
But then it goes back to I think that would not help Metroid sales.
How would it
My
not help?
mentality
How would it
is
not help by
always-
dropping it on a system at launch that has 130,
Yeah, because
140
look
million?
at games like Super
installed.
Bomberman R and Snipper Clips. Super Bomberman R was not a Switch exclusive. Those games sold like crazy, and then they released Super Bomberman R2 and it bombed. And it's like, why did it bomb? It's because people bought it because there was nothing else to buy on the
Yeah.
new system.
I was
I mean-
one of those people, and I was like
Yes.
not impressed by it. I'm like,
So
there's-
there was a Metroid Prime 4 available as one of those games when there's not a lot of games. It actually could help sales.
Right.
And
Put it
it's
out
the
month
game we
2.
all hope it's going to
Month
be
2.
where it is going to transcend the Metroid series and finally be a huge 10 million plus seller. It'll be evergreen, and people will be a lot more aware of it if it comes out earlier in the console. And then even if you can't get your hands on a Switch 2, you can still play it on Switch. You can still play the new Nintendo game coming out at launch, even if you don't have the system yet. Now you're convincing me more that it could be this dual release where it's the cross-gen Metroid Prime 4 and like a Mario, let's say.
I think there should be.
Mario's most likely.
No,
I
I
think
mean,
that-
we're
I think-
like
I think-
going in different directions now.
I agree
we
with Jake.
we were
Yes.
here.
Let's
We
go
got
off.
we got
I could
here,
see
and then
that.
we went like this.
I think it's just the coolest. I think that's the coolest one. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna say that's the best one.
All right,
Well,
so
I'm
me,
gonna hop off-
Austin, Jeff, and Nate all have the
Yeah,
right answer, and Andres is struggling. It's okay.
I gotta hop off. Anything else before I go, guys?
No, you're good, man.
Oh, hey, thank you for the Christmas card today. You saw I texted you before this. I didn't know you were going to be here. I put it on my fridge.
I heard you were coming. I didn't want to text you. I wanted to surprise you.
It was a good surprise. It was a good surprise.
It was great to see you
You
guys.
can
This was a
find
lot of fun.
Smash JT
Nice to
on
meet you.
YouTube and X.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Well,
Saying
I'm
X is so
being
weird.
my marketing guy. Thank you, Jake. Appreciate you. All right, guys. Thank you again for inviting me on, Nate. Appreciate it. Good to see you guys.
Wonderful to meet you.
Have a good night, man.
You too. Later.
Yeah.
See you, Jeff. All right, Andres, I was giving you a hard time. I'll let you get your piece.
No, that's fine. You guys can all think I'm wrong. That
And,
doesn't
and
mean
then
I
there
am
was
wrong.
another.
Dude, you'll
one
probably
less
end up
person
being
to-
right. You're always freaking right.
to break
Well,
up the
that's not always
the
true.
couple argument,
Um,
the divorced
I-
couple here.
But Jake, you basically talked me into thinking that Prime 4 can't be a launch title. Like, it's just
That's so
it's-
funny.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I'm almost now thinking that we're not going to see like a big reveal for the system until summer. Like I think we may learn that it's gonna come out in 2024 by March, but it's gonna be like, hey, like Nintendo's like, yeah, we are planning a new system. We'll be announcing more details later this year. Like it might be something as simple as that in March. And so now I'm kind of thinking the reveal is happening in summer. September is a release, 3D Mario, Metroid in October, and then Pokemon in November. And there'll be like a Nintendo Land or sports game that comes out sometime in that window.
Speaking of Pokemon, and just to get us off the discussion of Switch 2 for a second.
Oh, jeez.
My hope, for my 2024 bingo card. Everyone else can also have we could go to discussion of like what do we want to see in 2024 from Nintendo. For me, I don't want to see a damn thing from Game Freak, huh?
Isn't that a super chat we're answering later?
Oh, I'm so sorry. Well, I'm saying we go after this because I guess that's after the whatever. Anyways, what I'm gonna say though is I don't want to see a damn thing from Game Freak in the year 2024. I want them to cook and I want them to reflect and I want them to chill. I think that something will still come out, but I want them to maybe like not just for like a hot second. That's all.
But they will.
Wait, real quick, Austin, can you come back on the 10th?
Huh?
On the podcast.
Can I come back on the podcast the 10th of January?
Yeah. It's my dream. I want two Pokemon YouTubers here.
Yeah, I should be able to.
Let's go.
I should be able to. Just sign me up.
All right, you're committed.
Oh, are we talking about the DLC or just the future of Pokemon or in general? Or
I mean, we'll probably be talking about both, but we're getting closer to
it. Won't matter what topic I make, it's gonna be Pokemon the whole show. It won't even matter.
Why? What is it?
I might as well just let Jake make all the topics and run the show that day because I'm just gonna be like Eric. Okay. I'm gonna sit back and listen.
Yeah.
No, but I'm torn because I would like to see, I like to see Unova remakes because that's like what's on everybody's mind right now because of the DLC and how the DLC made so many references to Gen 5, like literally like half, if not all, the soundtrack from the most recent DLC update is all remixes of songs and Pokemon from Generation 5, from Unova, from Pokemon Black and White and Black and White 2. So, but like I think I'm just like, and maybe it's just a me personally thing. I feel like I'm kind of like, I need Pokemon to just take a minute because it's a shame that probably one of the best games they've ever made in like the longest time since Gen 5 are just difficult to play. And I don't mean to, and I hate to do the whole, Scarlet Violet bad because lag. But it's like when I played through Scarlet Violet the very first time, like my game crashed multiple times throughout playing. Like it was not easy. And then I tried to get in the competitive scene. Oh no, it is. And that's no. Yeah. I did feel like it. That's what I was saying. That's what I'm saying. If it was not for the performance issues, it would be my favorite Pokemon game. It's just it's physically hard for me to play because I don't know what it is about my Switch because I see other people who don't have any performance issues and then some people have a ton of performance issues and I don't know what it is. And I have a new Switch, like I have the new Zelda OLED, so like I don't know what my problem is. But I feel like they need to really just rein it in terms of like their quality control for the games. And I really think they could be successful. I mean, and I'm not trying to just sit here and be like Scarlet Violet bad.
Dude, one of the things I hate is that like the reason they pump out the games as fast as they do is because now Pokemon is like such a huge.
It's the Pokemon.
So they have to get them out in time for the cards to release and for the anime.
Correct.
And so they have no choice, and like it's like okay, then get like more people, figure out a way to.
Yeah. So I think the biggest thing right now is the cards because if I look because I'm very plugged into the TCG and I go to competitions and stuff like that. And so I feel like if it wasn't for the cards right now, you would be able to have because like the cards are going to continually need new updates and new whatever, because they drop new card sets like every other 3 months or every other so months.
Yeah.
And so if you look at it, they're going to be out of material to add to the card game by the end of next year. So they're going to have to do something to add to, like, something from the games or something from the flagship is going to have to happen to enable the cards. And that's what sucks about it, because I know that it's like from a TCG, from my perspective, the TCG is like super healthy and really fun, and I love it, which is why I pivoted from the VGC.
A little bit of power creep recently. A little bit. It's always had power creep.
Yeah, and it's yeah. Anyways, but yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Like,
I feel like that's
I
I can't talk about that.
I want Game Freak to not make something, and I want them to cook. And even if it is just release it in like the very beginning, like, January 2025 release, that's fine. Just cook and quality control your games. That's all I want.
I will say though, like, the difference in quality between Sword and Shield and Scarlet and Violet, like Scarlet and Violet's so much better. Like,
in what
In terms of quality, or just in terms
in
of
what
fun?
respects?
just in terms of like
In terms
I
of
think-
fun.
funness of the
I
game
think-
and like everything there is to do. Like, dude, like the
Agreed.
story in Sword and Shield like sucked. Like the
No,
whole
I agree.
time.
No,
The whole time, anytime anything cool happened, Leon would be like, "Oh, I'll go handle it. You go just challenge the
Yeah,
gym."
no,
And you'd be like,
yep.
"What?" Like that happened
No,
multiple times.
I agree. No, I think like I was saying, I think that Scarlet and
Sorry,
Violet
Nate.
are the best. I think mechanically, and mechanically, story, and also just like every gimmick that's in Scarlet and Violet are the best Pokemon games that we've seen ever. Honestly, like, just
Yeah.
I think
they're such a refresh. Other than Legends, I
Yeah.
genuinely like Terrestrialization.
But it
is
has the
such an
worst
awesome
sounds.
gimmick.
The
But it
worst
outside
had-
of
sounds.
Legends,
yeah,
I think Scarlet and
worst
Violet are the
polished.
best 3D Pokemon games ever made.
Correct.
Which isn't saying a lot.
Yeah, but I don't know. There's a lot of I'm a Gen 7 hater, so that's the whole thing. The game Arceus is disgusting. Somebody says in chat. I think that the Legends model, I think it's very disappointing they did not continue at the very least the ability to just continue to throw and catch the whole, like, that is my that core gameplay loop of like sneaking up on Pokemon and like finding Pokemon in the wild and just throwing infinite amount of Pokeballs at them. That's like one of the most
So fun.
genuinely fun times I've had in a Pokemon game in so long. And
I think it might be my favorite
but
Pokemon game.
and I think you could
A lot
keep
of
it
people
as
feel
a
that way.
separate thing from the mainline games. I think you could continue to do the Arceus, which I or the Legends model, which I think is the plan. I don't know. We'll see going.
I think they're
forward.
gonna have both.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
that's
they've
probably
done
why
that in
they
the
put it in
past where
Scarlet
they
and
they
Violet.
deviate, or there's like a spinoff like Coliseum or Battle Revolution, and then it kind of fizzles or something. And so I hope they continue to do a Legends, whether it's Legends Johto, Legends Unova, whatever the hell. I think I would like to see a Legends game in parallel. And I could even see them as over remakes. Honestly, just is what they should, instead of remake like they did with BDSP, instead of remaking it, just give us the Nintendo Switch Online emulated version of let's just say Black. We'll use Black and White as an example. Gen 5 Unova. Just give us Black and White and Black and White 2 emulated on the Nintendo Switch Online. You get people to buy that. Then you give us the Legends game that's based on Unova, and then you're set. Instead of making a full-fledged remake, you still appease the hardcore wanting the original game experience fans, while also saying, "Oh, hey, here's this brand new experience that you can have from Gen 5." I know it's never going to happen because they want to continue that what is it? The brand, whatever. But I think it would be a bit more healthier to do than to have like Ilka do a faithful remake as in tandem.
Or
in
I think they
parallel with
learned their
this
lesson
game.
from that. Honestly, dude, I'm like one of those people that wants there to be a Black 3 and a White 3 because like it seems
Yeah,
very
true.
important to them to do the two versions, even with remakes, because they know they'll sell
Mhm.
them. So they're not going to do like
Yeah, that's the other thing is they'll make more money.
they're not going to
from
do like a
doing that.
Pokemon Z in 10 years, after for X and Y. They're not.
Yeah.
They want to have two versions. So if it's like, all right, if you want to have two versions, give us like Black 3 and White 3, and then
be
give
neat?
us a Legends game that comes
Yeah.
out the same year, like the way they did with her Gen 4.
What if they did a Legends game and it was 2 versions of that?
I would cry. That would
Like,
be so ass.
what if it's like Pokemon? What's the difference?
See, that's the thing is that would probably what they do with like the Johto if they did a Legends Johto or whatever. Like,
Like Legends
theorizing, it'd
Hoenn,
probably-
Legends Lugia.
Yeah,
yeah, they would probably do
Pikachu and
that.
Eevee, yeah, let's go.
And or they could do like I don't know how they. I guess he would just do Legends Kyurem or not Kyurem, Reshiram and Zekrom. Like, and that would make that. Then that would make sense too with the lore of the game. So, God, I don't want to give them ideas, but fuck, that's probably something.
The problem with that is then it makes it hard to do the singular legend, though, right? Like the Legends would be the Legends Dialga or like not Dialga. I meant
Arceus.
No, I wanted to say Legends Deoxys. Like, you know, if they ever do go to that.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
So. To be fair,
bro, imagine a Legends Mewtwo and getting to see like the story.
It would be Mew because they used the
and it's in the Legends games are usually based in like very like the very distant
we
past.
have the one example.
That's true.
Andres, every time
that they've happened, but that was like literally the whole ethos of it is they were like, this is a brand new thing that's always going to take place in the past, you know. In the
I guess my thing is it would be cool if they could also open the door. No, it would just be cool like if they could open the door to like going into the future as well. But I guess the issue with that is if they do that, should they change the name? Should they call it Pokemon Prophecies then? You know,
Prophecies would actually kind of. Oh my God, Prophecy! You have 2 games: Pokemon Legends Prophecy or Pokemon Prophecies and Pokemon Legends. That would actually be kind of neat. That's a cool concept.
I mean, it's kind of like
oh my God, and that would have
that with Scarlet Violet.
Well, and then that would also play into the
door.
theming of because Black and White also kind of play into that theme of past and future. Like Reshiram is supposed to be of the past or representative of the past in like traditionalism and
true.
Dialga.
Zekrom is supposed to be representation.
I don't know why I keep saying Dialga.
Yeah, what's up with that?
I don't
we know your favorite Pokemon is Dialga. We get
I was thinking Zekrom. I know the electric dragon, the black electric dragon. I know
a lot of opinions.
My
on
mouth
Pokemon
said
games.
Dialga, and I don't know why.
Hang on, I saw
Dialga.
somebody. I saw that person that we mentioned earlier say something, and I need to find that.
Dialga is a great Pokemon. Like
Saffron City.
I like Scarlet Violet. I had a ton of fun, but but it definitely needed more time in the oven. Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah,
agreed.
Like 6 years.
I saw them say something earlier, and I wanted to acknowledge that. I was like,
that's
the person that Jake acknowledged. Yeah.
I'm looking
anyways,
forward to playing the DLC. Actually, yeah, I'm starting to get the itch.
Yeah, I think I'm going to stream the DLC.
We can catch starters and put them in a Pokeball that's not a Pokeball. We can put them in any Pokeball.
Wait, no, Nate, come back. We could move. I was about to move us on to the next topic. To the questions. No,
is he pissed about the Bucks game? Is that what he's pissed about?
All right. Well, without Nate, let's go ahead and start going through the super.
He's going to take a phone call.
Super chats. Okay, where's the super chats? Can I see that from my perspective?
Hey, chat. How are we feeling about the Pokemon talk? Do we need to move on? You let us know.
One's in chat if you like Pokemon talk. 2's in chat if we should move on. This is how you stream, by the way. You YouTubers. This is how you stream. This is how we do it.
Wait,
Nishquick said, nah, get out of here. You just want to be on the episode.
So is one you hate Pokemon and 2 you love hating Pokemon? Was that what it is?
I see a lot of 2's. Okay, so let's talk about
there's a few ones, but
I see a good amount of 2's.
I see a lot more.
We've given the one
a lot. Is the thing. What I would say,
listen, come February when they announce Legends Kyurem, then we'll be talking about Pokemon a lot, at least on my channel.
We will be, yeah.
True.
So let's move on to the super chat about what do we want to see in 2024? What do we want to see? Whether it's going to happen, we'll throw that out the window.
Do you think Nate wants to be here for that?
We'll come back. We'll just loop back around to him.
He only puts them up on the TV.
Like, oh, my bad.
Eric, it's okay. I mean,
I believe in you, Eric.
Yeah, I mean, Eric,
you got to do it.
I mean, Eric is literally the
he's gaming right now. Or no?
You just take Nate's beverage.
Yeah, everyone's favorite game of the year. Ooh,
Tears of the Kingdom.
I mean,
yeah, Tears of the Kingdom is up there. That's definitely. I think
we kind of answered this. We all said our favorite, but besides Tears of the Kingdom, Tears of the Kingdom was mine as well, by the way.
I'm like looking at my Switch right now. I'm like, what else was my
The number
game?
2 conversation I find more interesting because I feel like that's where we're gonna see a little bit more variety.
I also, my number 2, honestly, the Pikmin 1 and 2 bundle was pretty cool to go back and play.
Interesting.
But I think,
I beat
I
Pikmin
thought
1
I
on
was
that. I didn't
waving
beat 2
around
yet.
a candy
me
bracelet.
too.
Oh, it's a little bracelet. It was made by Cutie Cinderella. I traded it with her at TwitchCon. We made Taylor Swift bracelets and we traded them. It was pretty cool.
That's
Anyway,
adorable.
sorry. I was
Nice.
just acknowledging that chat.
Pikmin 4, like it's interesting 'cause when we mentioned Pikmin 1, like because I'm so close to 100. I know I've been talking about it for a couple of weeks, but like the more I play Pikmin 4, I'm like, oh, I have to do this, I have to do this, and so one, like, it's not just I'm trying to 100% the game, so that means more than just getting all the main maps, because there's also like this side story you can do with Olimar where you explore the past. And what's cool about that is that it kind of brings
really
back
cool.
that Pikmin 1 gameplay where you have only a certain amount of days to get everything done.
Ooh, that's very cool.
Right, and I love that about Pikmin 1. So they brought it into Pikmin 4, and so like I was getting the first couple days, I was like, oh, I am not pacing to get through this. And then as I adapted, I did. So that was kind of exhilarating to kind of feel that. And they put that into Pikmin 4 as like a side option, right? That's like an additional 4 to 5 hours of gameplay that you can replay, and you can do it a little bit differently. But then also there's something else you unlock after that. That's like these challenges. There are these sage challenges, and I've done 9 of 10. The last one, then it's really hard. Like they're very challenging. And then there's just like, and this is all like post game stuff. Like there's just so much. I don't know. Pikmin 4, like I think it's my number 2, but I would say Mario Wonder is definitely my 4th favorite game of the. Well, Future Redeemed I really enjoyed as well. That's an expansion. Do we count that? Do we count the Xenoblade Chronicles 3 DLC as
Sure, why
as
not?
game?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, you can count it.
So I mean, all 5. So Prime Remastered is also in there, or can I count Prime Remastered since it's a remaster?
It's your favorite.
Yeah, you can count that.
Okay.
I didn't know we had rules on what your favorite is.
Well, there's rules of the Game Awards apparently. So
this isn't the Game Awards. So
yeah, that's true. That is true.
Isn't there like a Steam like Spotify Wrapped? Is that a thing, or am I crazy? I thought I saw them do that.
I think I would rank.
I found it. I already found it. Never mind. We're good. I'm chilling.
These are my in terms of new releases this year is what I would rank: Tears of the Kingdom, Pikmin 4, Metroid Prime Remastered, Future Redeemed, and then Mario Wonder. Although I think maybe I would give I might give Mario Wonder number 4. I don't know. I have to think about that, but that's it. That's my top 5.
Dude, non-Nintendo game. I know it just came out and like everybody's been playing it, but Lethal Company.
Well, the question was just favorite game. It doesn't
Lethal Company,
and I gave my top 5.
That's definitely my number 1. Like if I had to pick a multiplayer experience, that's my number 1. It's basically I would say Lethal Company is the new Among Us, like dead ass. Like
it's
so easy to
I
join
haven't
lobbies,
played it yet, but everyone's talking about it.
Oh my god, it's so much fun. It's so much fun, and it's like it's a horror game, but it's funny, and it has the proximity chat really just adds to it so much. Yeah, no, I mean, 100% Lethal Company is my like non-Nintendo game, like indie game as well. I want you all to know this game was made, and this is a testament to like how important giving children and giving people like younger folks like tools to make games and like having those environments in Roblox or in Minecraft or whatever. This guy or this person, I think they go by they them. They made games in Roblox for years since they were like 14, and then they made Lethal Company, and now it's a game that is outsold
still in Roblox.
All these Call of Duties, and it's really cool, and it's just really cool. Like if you ever see things like people using games to either educate children or educate younger folks, it's like a very important tool. Just because like again, you can have amazing experiences like this just pop up. Definitely huge shout out to them. What's their name? Man, they're on Twitter. But yeah,
what do you do in the game? I don't know anything about it.
So the core loop is you and your friends are like hired by a space company. You land on different planets or moons rather, and every planet has a dungeon. You go into the dungeon and you go in to collect treasure and bring it back to the ship. But while you are in the dungeon, there is a big roster of Lethal Company, aka monsters, who can attack you, kill you, and your friends. And each monster has like different abilities, different things. Like some examples are there's this monster called the Bracken, It's an all black shadow monster, and it tries to sneak up behind you and snap your neck. And if you look at it, then it'll go away a little bit. Another one is there's basically they're coil heads. They're basically weeping angels. You have to look at them and they won't move. And then if you look away, they come up and try to attack you.
So this is
my favorite is there's a little girl who haunts players. It picks one player at a time. No other player can see it. Only that player can see the little girl. So it makes you feel like you're like going crazy. And then it's
this sounds really fun. I want to play it with
friends. No,
it's
really and there's like better moons throughout the game. Like there's like stuff to obtain and strive for. Like there's better maps and stuff. And the game again isn't like pre-alpha, like it's like barely a thing. And the creator is also doing very good job at like adding new updates to it like consistently. It just came out in November and they've already updated it once with like a December update, giving it like, they added a new enemy, they added a couple new items. Like it's like they're giving it like a healthy what is the word? They're giving it healthy updates while the game is popular. So it's been very nice to see that as well. Definitely, and it's like I think $20. Like it's so worth your time. So worth it.
Yeah, I've had a couple of friends try to get me to play with them, and I just haven't yet. But now you have sold it more than anyone.
Oh yeah, no, it's so fun. Also, it's really easy to mod, and there's like a ton of community mods now that like do a bunch of like. There's the most common one is like expanded. So the base game lobby is 4 people, but there's one that expands it to like 20 people if you so wanted to. There's one that like adds new suits, and there's one that makes teleporting easier, and there's a get mechanic in the game. There's one that adds like a new monster where there's like fire escape, so it's like an additional exit. It makes the fire escape a mimic, and the fire escape will like eat you, and it's really cool. I don't know, there's a lot of really cool things about it. Definitely recommend if you have not played it. If you have a better game to play with friends for sure, but so great, so fun. Love, it's a great game, fantastic. Sorry, I will go off my Lethal Company.
All right.
Mine's
super short. My favorite game of the year is Tears of the Kingdom. Done. I don't have anything to say about it.
Well, we were talking about.
We were all saying our second favorite game.
Yeah.
No. Welcome to the conversation.
No. I'm sticking to the actual question, which was my favorite game of the year.
Okay.
What is?
So everybody's like, oh yeah, whatever. I don't know. I feel like Lethal's fulfilling that Phasmo vibes. If you like Phasmo, you'll like this. And then it also fulfills the Among Us vibe of like that multiplayer, everybody's in it, but also like trolling each other because you can like kill each other and stuff too. So yeah. Anyways, I'm actually done now. It's time.
Free Metroid hat threw out there. Do you think it's more likely the Switch 2 could be announced earlier or later with the Switch 2
I feel like we answered this earlier.
It was brought up casually. I don't think the flashcards really affect.
I don't think so either.
How when they're going to bring out the next system.
Yeah. I think it affects a lot of things, but that is one thing it doesn't affect.
Yeah, I would agree.
And just want to do a double shout out here to James Knight, who became a member and then decided, you know what, I'm going to gift 5 members as well. So thank you so much, James Knight, and to our 5 new members of the board.
Hey, thanks, James. That's keeping it clean.
Thanks, James.
This was more pertinent to the conversation we were having earlier. Taker610 said I would launch Prime 4 first on Switch 2 to show off the performance and resolution, then release the Switch version a month later. That's like the Twilight Princess approach, wasn't it? Didn't they do that a month later?
I don't think it was that much later. I think it might have been a couple days or a week, but I think it's worth looking into actually. Twilight Princess.
It's interesting. I don't know how I feel about it.
Oh, by the way, we're doing the Q&A section, guys. We got people watching. It's just $2 super chats. Submit your questions. Whatever you want it to be. Can't guarantee we'll answer it, depending on how personal you get. But
so you're right. It came out in North America, Twilight Princess, November 19th. And
this is from memory
GameCube. On GameCube. Well, the thing is, it released in different regions. There's different reasons. So Japan was December 2nd. Australia was December 7th. Europe was December 8th. On GameCube, Japan, December 2nd. North America was December 11th. So it wasn't a whole month later, but it was 3 weeks later. So yeah.
So if it's horseshoes or hand grenades, I got it right. Got it. Cool.
No, you did. I
What is-
said you got it
What
right.
does horseshoes or hand grenades mean? What does that mean?
I don't know, but
Close
but
enough.
he got it right.
Close
Yeah.
enough.
Close enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's close enough.
What was everybody's favorite non-Nintendo game this year? Sorry, I know that's like kind of not in line.
That's
But
okay.
What was everyone's? Yeah. Nate, start.
Why are you starting with me? Why is it immediately?
Because I
jump
already
to me?
said mine, and you were gone. So talk more.
No. I have
It's your
literally not been
podcast, bro.
talking this entire
It
podcast.
is
I'm good
your
with that.
podcast. Talk.
No, I am keeping it clean from here to the end
Your
of
favorite
time.
non-Nintendo.
Yeah, keep
game.
it clean.
What that means is he's just not going to talk anymore.
Of
Pretty
course.
much.
All right.
I'm just
Jake,
gonna
what was
host.
What was your favorite?
He's going to shut his
non-Nintendo
pie hole.
game? Yeah.
Legitimately. Did I not
he's
say
gonna
that behind the
host,
scenes?
He's gonna rake
I
it
said
all
behind
the
the scenes to
views,
Andres
and we're
and
gonna
Jake,
do all the work. Okay,
I'm not gonna be
I see how it
talking.
is. I
No,
think we
I'm the
need to unite.
host.
think we
You
need to
guys are the
unite, guys.
conversation.
What's my
Yeah.
cut of the podcast? I'm just kidding. Jake, what was your favorite non-Nintendo game of the year? That was- yeah.
I guess Final Fantasy 16, but it's kind of by default because a lot of the games that I think will actually be my favorite after Tears of the Kingdom, I haven't played yet, which is Spider-Man 2 and Super Mario Wonder.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I didn't really like Final Fantasy 16 is the thing.
Damn.
But for games that came out this year that I played this year,
Yeah.
that would kind of be it.
Damn. Understandable though. Andres.
Well, I haven't played that many games outside of my
Oh,
Switch.
Outside of Switch stuff.
Yeah, it's a tough question for Andres.
Right.
Well,
But, I
it could
mean,
be
I
one
do
that's like
have
maybe
some
not a Switch
options.
exclusive, like
Right.
Dave the Diver or something. I don't know.
So I downloaded Sea of Stars and I'd never started it.
So probably that.
No. I've been playing Monster Hunter World on my PlayStation lately, and I'm enjoying that one.
Ooh,
Yeah.
okay.
Monster Hunter's
Yeah, it came
good.
out
That's a
like
good
3 years
answer.
ago.
Yeah. I also beat Cuphead last week. Or
Hey,
actually
we
a few
can
days ago.
count games that didn't come out this year. I've got
Yeah, this
better.
is games
Yeah.
that we played
Well,
this year.
the
not
problem
games
is that
came out.
I haven't played a lot of new third-party games that came out this year.
Too busy.
I want to.
being content
but-
creators. We have to.
I got
basically
the platinum trophy for Final Fantasy 1 and 2 after I hated 16. So I just went back and played those.
What's the name of that game that it's like a whole bunch of people playing a whole bunch of mini games? Fall Guys. I like Fall Guys.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. I wouldn't say it's my favorite non-Nintendo game of the year.
The
but-
only time I've ever played Fall Guys is when I've been like dating a girl and like that's the only game that she'll play. But I have fun.
I will
I
give
played
an
Fall
answer.
Guys.
I will
Oh,
give
yeah?
an answer.
And I'm never better than them either.
He's giving an answer.
Holy cow.
Liza P.
Ooh,
okay.
good answer. Good answer.
I wanna play that one.
It's on Game Pass. Been playing a lot of it lately.
Is
I'm
it very? It's
very
very
happy.
Soulsborne-y, right? Like that's the
Yes.
vibe I get it.
Yes.
Okay.
That's why I want to
Yeah,
play
it looks
it.
like it'll be one of the
Really
really
good
fun.
game. And here's the thing: I played Baldur's Gate 3 as well. I didn't get far enough into it. I feel like to make a determination yet. And then Spider-Man 2, I'm still playing as well, so I didn't really feel like that. But Liza, the thing is, I'm still playing Liza P as well. It's just I'm pretty much done with the game. I mean, there's not that much left.
Eric, what about yourself? What's your favorite non-Nintendo game?
Phone destroyed.
Is
No, they killed that thing now.
Oh,
His
you
favorite,
can't play it anymore?
non-Nintendo game is Halo
Do you have a new
Combat
mobile game you're
Evolved
playing, man?
from
Huh?
You
2001
got a new mobile game?
Not
on
really.
the Xbox
Oh.
OG.
I was wondering why
It
you
could be
were
a
playing
mobile
Tears of the
game.
Kingdom and
Fuck
not
yeah,
Phone Destroyed.
mobile gamer.
No, they killed my mobile game.
No, it's so sad.
Yeah. No, so funny thing is I think the only non-Nintendo game I played this year, I just went back and looked at my year in review again, and I think the only one that has any sort of things is apparently Shredder's Revenge with less than an hour. So I
Yeah,
haven't
so you
played
really
anything
liked it.
non-Nintendo like
Had a
at all.
great time.
Wow.
To be fair,
yeah.
that's probably like 20% of the game.
Lego Star Wars. Lego Star Wars had an hour, apparently.
There you go. So that's the one.
Hey,
And then-
Lego Star Wars Fox. Is it the
So
new one?
Eric is
Hope.
actually the best Nintendo fan here because
That's
he's played
right.
the least amount
Lego
of
Star Wars
non-Nintendo games.
does fuck, actually.
Wait, which
Uh,
Lego Star Wars, the newest one, like the remake? Or
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
the
Skywalker
Skywalker
Saga.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
That one also
Mario Wonder,
fun, but-
Mario Wonder at 4 hours, and then Sparks of Hope at almost 40, and then Tears of the Kingdom at 124.
Dude,
So
that's
there you go. So
incredible.
he played
That's
2
low.
games this
I
year.
played 2 games basically.
He's played
this
2
year.
games this
Wow.
whole year.
Fair enough. I guess being the Twitch streaming stuff, it's crazy that I went back and revisited like the Wii Sports Resort stuff. I don't know why. I just was like compelled. I was like, I got to do this. I don't know why I have the itch.
I don't
And
know
then I
why
did
I
Switch
lied.
Sports.
We gamed last week, and it makes me want to go back and play them too.
I don't know why I lied about Liza P because I want to rescind my answer. It's Henry the Hamster Handler.
No.
Hell
That is official.
yeah. Hell yeah.
Dude,
That is
honestly,
officially-
mine might be the Quarry or the Devil Inside because
Oh, Quarry's good.
I played both those games on stream and let my chat make every decision
Oh,
via
that's right.
vote.
Yeah.
And it was honestly really fun. And I don't think I would have had a ton of fun playing those. They weren't bad or anything, but like playing it that way made them so much more fun.
Yeah. I'm here for it. Fuck yeah.
Boo Many had a $2 super chat saying console plus Zelda remake 2024 equals CZR 2024. That's a reference to another rumor floating out there.
We kind of talked
Console.
about that.
Very
Yeah,
good.
who was the person who put that
17.
rumor out there? I already forgot. There's so many of them.
Nash Weedle.
Nash Weedle. Okay.
What does that
yeah.
mean? CZR. I mean, like I don't understand.
don't
Like,
We
know.
don't know what
We
it
don't know.
means. That's the
Yeah,
point.
that's the point. You don't know.
We don't know.
It's just we assume it's Zelda because the Z, and it's a play on Dr. Sirkin Toto, who twice was Zelda related.
Listen, Nash Weedle knows.
But-
Nash Weedle put that out there. Like I think like it's very, very likely he put that out there knowing exactly what people would interpret. So that doesn't mean he actually has inside info. That doesn't mean he's actually right. But I definitely think he was alluding to something Zelda.
Oh my gosh, something Zelda's happening in 2024. Who knew? Nintendo
Right.
only wants something Zelda every year.
Yeah, but at least this is something. If we believe him, right? This is gives.
It's
This is
something
a
that
hint.
hey, it hypes me up, baby. Hype it responsibly. Hell yeah. Console plus Zelda remake launch 2024. Let's go.
Yep.
Do it. I'm there. Hyping.
Combustible Zelda remaster. that he
Combustible.
disclosed. Like
Collapsible.
Nintendo actually
Collapsible.
Nintendo
Having hope.
delivers Wind Waker and Twilight Princess to us, right? Like everyone who has a
Yeah.
Nintendo Player account, like you can ask for it to be shipped for free, but upon receival, it just collapses, it just combusts. That's it.
Yeah,
And
see,
so no one ever actually
I like
played
my
it.
collapse on where if you go you enter a certain dungeon out of order, the game just deletes itself off your system. Just right there. Just hard
Mm.
gone. Save file deleted. It just collapsed. You just opened a wormhole.
You know, it'd be
Classic
fun
Nintendo
though
move.
if they were to make a Zelda spinoff one day that's just dungeons. Like you just do different. They just send you to different dungeons and challenges, and that's the entire game.
So we got a 2-part question here from Sammy that talks about games. One of it we sort of touched on earlier, but he might not have been here. Was when do you guys think the Switch 2 will get a trailer? Which I guess you could interpret that as different than a full reveal event. Then furthermore, do you think there will be a traditional direct in February, or is it going to be a mini or something else? So
Just too hard to figure out.
I mean, for the first one,
Yeah, it's all
trailer.
so there, man.
I mean, they did a trailer for Switch before they did the big event.
It doesn't
So
mean
it's
they're gonna do it
conceivable they
this way.
could do that again. They could do a teaser trailer. And maybe that's what's in January, and then a big event in March.
It's entirely possible.
It's entirely possible because it would be announced. Yeah, that is possible. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, that's the only.
Yeah,
it's not in May.
It's genuinely just like it's just so like it could be in February. It could be I don't like there's no signs of anything other than the fact that we only have games through like the spring, if that. And so like it makes sense that it would maybe be either in February
but
or
it's
March.
also the beginning of the year, right? Like there have been years where we don't know about pretty much the entire lineup.
Yeah.
I'm very curious.
Very direct.
So we like to say there's no signs. Like Nintendo's confirmed they're working on hardware and stuff. They've been saying that since at least 2021.
I mean, yeah, sorry.
But
I think
what
there's no signs in terms of when we're going to see it.
Yeah.
Yes,
Like
that's
what I
meant.
find
Sorry, that's a
fascinating
bad-
though
that was a bad.
is that Furukawa did something that Nintendo never does. He specifically tried to address rumors about Switch 2 not too long ago. Like specifically called out a couple specific rumors. And that's never really happened from Nintendo presidents in the past. And I wonder if we're gonna like if there's like a super early reveal or whatever next year, I wonder if that is like the thing like to look forward to in the future to see if he comments on rumors again in the future, because I'm curious why he wanted to go out of his way when there was nothing known by the general public who buys Switches about any of this stuff. If like he's doing it because they know they're revealing it soon, and they're like, we want to quelch all this conversation so people stop speculating because we have the real thing coming, and we don't want people to have their expectations out of whack. But again, we don't know. I mean, this is a hypothetical future speculation point. This is what we do at the channel. It's going to be a conversation because I'm going to make it one. As for the second part, what do you guys think? Is it normal, direct, a mini?
I don't know.
What's your favorite Pokemon, Nate?
I mean,
The best
It's like-
Pokemon, Charizard. Literally the best.
I feel like it'll be. I mean, if we get
Define
an early
literally.
Switch release, then it'll probably be a full.
There is
it won't
nothing
be a
better.
mini.
Factually
If
better.
it's- But if it's
Charizard.
a late Switch release, like if we're getting a Switch summer / like late spring, early summer, or whenever the hell, then we're probably gonna see a full direct that's like, this is what's coming. This is what's coming, guys. Get your booties ready. If not, it might be a mini. If it's gonna be a late release, it'll probably be a mini, or it might just be a fucking, hey, we're doing a Switch. Get ready, summer, whatever, or get ready for the summer when we tell you more or something. I don't know. That's where I'm at. Yeah. I mean, I think it's just the best we got. I mean, literally, until we get more shit.
I think what they got to do is like, we were all saying like, okay, so they need to have the Switch 2 out there before they can talk about the Switch 2 games, right?
Yeah.
So if they
exactly.
do a February Direct, which they may or may not do, it's totally feasible. They could push that a little bit. But if they did that, I would say they reveal, whether it's just a trailer or a big reveal, they reveal it in January and then announce their Direct at the end of their Switch 2 reveal. And then that's going to be one of the most viewed Directs. And then I think you drop a couple Switch 2 launch titles or exclusives or whatever right at the beginning to get, because that's going to be the most viewed Direct. So you get all these eyes on the software that you want to sell right away. And then you incorporate the Switch 2 showing how it's going to be unique with that software in those reveal trailers. I think that would be the best way to do it. And then talk about the Switch 2 more on its own after showing a couple games, then show a couple more games, and then some cross-gen releases. But you definitely I think that would be a great way to do it, and then have more details come out of the Switch 2 after that, like the online, like how the online is going to work. Can you voice chat? The gimmick, if there's going to be one, stuff like that. I don't know. But that's a tough question. That's a lot to unpack right there.
Yeah, it is.
I just remembered that I think I made my predictions for 2023 a long time ago, like last year. And I'm thinking that I did like a 2-pronged like set of predictions. And so there was a time where I was like, oh, maybe Switch 2 comes out in 2023 with a new Zelda, right? Like I thought that for a little bit, a while back. I gave up on that a long time ago, but I remember doing a set of predictions, and I think I said if we're getting a new system, we're gonna get 3D Mario. But I also said if we don't get a new system, we'll get a 2D Mario for the holiday. I just remembered I got that right. I was wrong about there even fathoming like a new hardware in 2023, but I did also say if we don't get new hardware, 2D Mario is definitely happening this year.
Definitely.
And so like, I look at your question, Sam, and I don't know, I'm also sick, and I think I'm just tired, but it just
happens.
Dude, I can relate. I'm like the tiredest I've ever been my whole life.
Good thing the show is coming to an end here.
I guess I just don't know. I could give you a guess, but I feel like it's just a guess. Like it's not even.
Yeah, there's nothing. It's based on nothing.
I mean that's the thing. It is a guess. So
right. I guess what I mean is though I'm not convinced either way. Like I'm
convinced right now. What I'm about to say. This is what's happening. I hype it responsibly. This is a new. We've gotten rid of hyping responsibly. It's irresponsible. It's a blowout Switch 2 event in January. Because of that, this is going to mimic the Nintendo Switch when they did the blowout back in January of 2017. There will not be a February direct. It's
Don't be
actually
like
going
a
to be
direct.
a
in-
full blown
fair.
direct in March instead.
That's fair.
The system comes out in May then? Early
Yeah,
May,
it
similar to-
could come out March, but I think May. I think they'll wait till after the direct and do it in May. So that direct will be the
Yeah.
pre-launch direct. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like
Yeah.
Princess Peach
Maybe
Showtime,
it
I
could be
understand
April,
it's not
but,
maybe like a
You-
to
I
me,
mean-
like with Princess Peach Showtime, that
Sorry,
already
Randy.
shows Nintendo's plan for March. Like that is their plan.
See,
And so
and you and I have had an impasse on this whole time. They're gonna keep releasing games on Switch even after Switch 2 comes out. I don't think Princess Peach Showtime is a show-stopping game that you just don't do anything else because that game's coming out.
and it comes out late March, right?
I think.
I just
What,
had it
what,
pulled
March
up in 2
24th?
seconds. I'll grab it.
Yeah, I
Hold on.
think it's the 24th.
I have it.
That's the last-
If he
that's the
said
last
it, then
day
it's
of
probably
Pac-Man.
true. If it said it, he's probably true because his
March
recall
22nd.
memory.
See,
Oh,
I'm
he's
not-
wrong.
not totally
It's
right.
even later. It's
22nd,
even
2024.
22nd.
Oh, Andres, you're slipping.
Slipping
No, I
just
mean,
a little.
I
God, I'm
just
slipping.
yes,
He's
I mean,
sick. He's sick. To be
Yeah.
fair,
Yep.
this is not Andres at
you-
his full
Are you
powers.
not keeping it clean? Are you keeping it filthy over there, Andres?
well, the
Are you
24th
keeping
is
He's
it
Sunday.
consumed substances tonight. They were to help him, but they cannot fix the mind in this current state.
I think I'm losing my
Mhm.
voice.
Yeah, that happens. That being said, I think we're gonna end the podcast right there. I want to thank you guys for all
Hey.
being here. We're gonna go around the room. You got let people know where they can find you, what you got going on. We'll start with Fablam, Austin, buddy. We got
My
going
name
on.
is
Where can we find
Blam. Like I said, I'm kind of on Twitch. I'm kind of on break right now. Actually, I'm not gonna come back till next week.
Good mental health.
Yeah,
Sounds
but when we
great.
come back next week, better than ever. I got a new series that's gonna start posting on YouTube, Mario Party But. Basically, we play Mario Party, but something crazy is different. Like the most recent one was Mario Party, but we can only steal stars from each other. But all that's getting put on YouTube. So what I would, if you guys do anything today, subscribe to my YouTube channel because like I trying to get YouTube partner, and I think we're like 100 or some subscribers. We're at 345, I think.
The
So
big thing is
200
the
subscribers.
watch time. You have the watch time recorded.
Yeah, no, I get that, but I will start to post. Like the plan is to work this week on a long form video, and we're gonna start
okay.
cranking. We have a series like that's coming that's gonna start cranking out at least twice. The goal is twice a month. We'll see if that happens. We're gonna
Sure.
at least once a month. Yeah, but yeah, subscribe to the YouTube. I do post daily shorts, so
Link is down in the description. to
thank
his
you
YouTube.
guys. I appreciate you. Anyone who does subscribe, it would mean the world.
Subscribe to this man.
Eric, where can they
Blam.
find you? I have no
Yeah.
idea.
I'm here.
That's it.
I'm here.
Subscribe. Come here every Wednesday.
Yeah.
You'll see Eric.
Yeah.
He won't talk much, but when he does, it's always a golden nugget.
That's what I'm saying. It's like Jay and Silent Bob, and at the end of the movie, Silent Bob always just drops the truth. Kevin Smith.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Mr. All Done, what you got going on? Where can they find you?
You can find me Jake Randall on YouTube, 2-Inch Destroyer on OnlyFans, and Jake Randall on Twitter/X. That's it.
Got it.
Keep it short.
Just restart.
Hi. What I got going on? There's gonna be a video tomorrow. I'm not sure what it is yet because it kind of depends on a lot of factors.
Yeah, I have an idea for my video tomorrow, but we'll see if that's the one I make.
The thing is, I haven't done the Nintendo 2024 predictions video yet, but also I don't know if I want to do it tomorrow, but I've also kind of decided I want to do like the predictions live stream where I bring in other people.
Oh, sure. Absolutely. That's fun.
But the problem is if I haven't done my own predictions video on it, I don't know if I can actually do the predictions live stream.
Because you think you dominated too much? Because you haven't got it out there yet?
I mean, I don't know. Like, it feels like it's okay to kind of go live and talk about my predictions
Sure.
after I've already made the video and then talk about it with other people and get their predictions. So I guess what I'm wondering, should I do the live stream tomorrow and mention some things that I'm thinking but not solidify and just talk about it with other people? But the problem with that is I need to have a good cast, and I've asked a few people already.
Dude,
and it's looking not
I
great.
think that you should do the live stream tomorrow because a lot of people take breaks right now. so it's a slow
Yeah.
time. So it's a good time. People are looking for something to. If people that like to watch live streams, there's not like as much as normal right now. And I'll come on if you want. I'll keep it clean.
There
I
it
would-
is.
I would offer my services as well, but I will be driving at like 5 p.m. tomorrow. So
But
I
Jake,
would
Jake
like to-
legitimately just told you he'll come on.
I would like to have you guys. We'll talk. We'll talk when we go on. Not live. I'll address.
Yeah.
A couple.
Oh,
wrinkles.
yeah,
I think
the after
regardless,
show.
I won't be offended if you don't want me on. But
the
I think-
real show.
No, I want you on. There's
Okay,
just
all
a
right.
couple wrinkles.
I
that
want you on.
We need to
Got you.
dissect before I.
You're
You might not
lucky
be
I
able to
didn't
drop.
even
You might not be able to
tomorrow.
drop the 2-inch over there. I'm just saying.
yeah,
That's not.
That's
What-
not what the
Let me
conversation is.
know
I
your
know. I
rules.
know.
I
I know.
can
I
be
know.
respectful.
All right.
No,
All right. Well, that's gonna do it for the Nintendo Prime
Something, but
podcast.
yes and no.
All right, go check out all of our guests. They're linked all down below. Every single one of the lovely people. Be sure to check out JT Smash as well, who was here earlier. Check out his channel as well. Especially if you're looking for more and more coverage on the completionist. He's definitely got you covered there. I got
Yeah,
the one
he's-
video. He's got everything
I
else.
see the completionist on the
checked out his
completionist.
He's the
video
completionist of the
or his channel.
completionist.
oh my god, he rips into him. Yeah,
So
so
it's great. So, anyways, thank you guys so much for being here. We'll be back same time next week for our very first show of
I love you, chat.
2024. Pretty
Bye,
exciting stuff.
everybody. Happy
Bye, guys.
New
Thank you.
Year. Happy New Year. Oh fuck. Happy New Year.
What just happened?
I dropped my phone.
I don't even. I'm like trying to do the exit.
That was so graceful. What a
the
grace-
outro. Hold on.
graceful
I
outro.
finally found it.